Hello everybody. How are you doing, everybody? Hold on, let me turn this up a little bit because this game is actually kind of not as loud as the other games I've been playing. So hopefully you guys can hear it. All you can hear right now is just cicadas, but oh my god. It's been I didn't realize it's been about a year since I've touched this series. So, we're getting back into it, guys. I had to go through this morning. I was gonna stream like 3 hours ago, but I had to go through and like re-download the mod and like uninstall and reinstall the games and the mods, and I was like, it took me for freaking ever. But we got the mod up. It's got the cool music and voice acting, and yeah, so it's gonna be all fun. From what I remember last we checked, we're on chapter 7. This is like Rika's chapter. From what I remember, Rika has kind of turned into this like godlike overseer. And she like has memories of all the timelines where things went wrong during this summer, where literally everyone dies or there's some kind of tragedy. And she's trying to figure out a way to stop the tragedy, but no matter how many times it cycles, she can't figure out a way to stop it. Like, she tries to drop hints, she tries to help, she tries to intervene. In some circumstances, she herself goes crazy, trying to intervene, so it's just a loop of tragedy that just keeps continually going through, and she's trying to figure out a way to stop it, so that's kind of where we're at. And she's realized that Keiichi is kind of like the outlier. Like, he's the one thing that can change the events, but like no one else can, because he's the only one that's like not from Hinamizawa. He just moved there and he lives there for the moment. So she's trying to figure out a way to like use him and to figure out a way to stop the tragedy. World always has a lot of nice suggestions, but they're mostly made out of politeness, right? They're just something you laugh off and reply with, that would be nice. But those ideas generally end as jokes, so it's crazy when they turn real. Wow. Oh yeah, they had a whole gaming session last time.
ここだけの話ですけど、私の近くにいた子たち、ケイイチさんと同じ宅で盛り上がりたかったって悔しがってましたよ。
Keiichi's just the resident older brother.
ケイイチは何でも楽しそうに遊ぶことに関しては天才的なのです。
She's such a precious little bean. You know, wasn't just playing around, I was giving it my all because I had no choice but to win. I guess we made it look a lot of fun for the audience, though.
確かに、
Oh,
ケイちゃんは
what
普
are you
段
doing
の部
here?
活においてもとにかくよく盛り上がってくれますからね。
I didn't know you went to
監
this
督も
school.
ケイちゃんがひなみざわファイターズに入ってくれたらさぞや盛り上がるだろうって言ってましたし。言ってましたね。ゆうべ会合の席でも入江先生、前原くんのことをベタ褒めでしたよ。
Huh.
ケイチくんは自分で思ってるよりずっと人を楽しくさせる
Maybe
力が
that's
あるんだ
normal
よ。
in this reality,
そうか
in
な。
this timeline. That Shion just goes
おじ
there.
さんだって自分の仲間が可愛いからって推薦したわけじゃないよ。ケイちゃんならこの退任にきっと応えられるって思ったから推薦したわけさ。
僕も同じ席にいましたですが、全然反対意見が出なかったのは
But of
驚きだったのです。前
She
原く
can
ん
do
は先生が思ってい
anything.
るよりもずっと村中で評判なんですね。
沖宮界隈でも有名です。先日のひなみざわファイターズと沖宮タイタンズの試合でのあの助っ人ぶりはもはや現地では伝説的ですからね。
あれはすごかったですものね。
Wait, he's been in baseball
亀田さん
tournaments?
目当ての記者の方々も度肝を抜かれてましたよ。
I must have missed that if it happened. They're talking about that rigged baseball match I set up with Kami to go. Oh, yeah. The public did end up believing that talented pitcher walked me out of fear. Marietta-kun and I have entered a strange relationship since then, but I'd really rather not talk about it right now. I forgot about that. That was a whole
ケイチ
thing.
君にはその力があると思うな。みーちゃんだけの推薦で足りないならレナも推薦するよ。ケイチ君ならきっと綿流し実行委員の退任を全うできる。
Rena's always got my back. Wadagashi is an annual village festival in the summer. It's supposed to be the biggest event in the village, and most of the people living here gather together for it. Since this is a major event, they always organize a committee to plan out the festival a few months in advance. The festival is only 2 weeks away, and I just moved to this village. But now they want me to join that committee? Yeah, you're a resident now. Sure,
俺
you've
実
been
行委員の仕事なん
introduced.
て知らないから何の役にも立てないぜ。
実行委員なんて堅苦しいのは肩書きだけだよ。ケイちゃんに満場一致でお願いしたい役はね、ズバリ叩き売りオークションの司会なんだよ。
なんだよそれ。バナナでも売らされるのか。
Bananas.
そこは
Is
先
that a
生から
normal
説明
auction
します。
thing?
今年のお祭りでは新しい試みとしてオークション風に寄付品の叩き売りをやろうということになったのです。
そこは複雑な事情があってね、町会で寄付品を集めてそれを商品にしてのみんなで参加できる何かをやりたいんだけど、過去の役員会でいろいろ大人の事情があって福引き抽選以外の方法で商品を分配したいってことになったんだ
I
よ。
I think this is the summer of
早い話
19...
が昔ばあさんが癇癪を起こし
What
とき
was
な
the
がら
year?
引っ込みがつかなくなったことがあるわけなんです。ばあさん
It's
って
like
自分でトラブ
73.
っときながらよく後悔し
I
て
need
ま
to
す
look
よ
it
ね。
up, actually.
まあね。
Because there was something that happened
まあそんなわけ
like a
で
year or so
福引き以外のイ
before.
ベントで何か楽しく商品を山分けできないかって話になったわけよ。それで出た案が寄付品の叩き売りオークションってわけ。
オークションってなんだか面白そうだね。ひょっとするとものすごく
She's such a
安く
cutie
いいものが
patootie.
買えるかもしれないし、
Just wanna give her
他の
all
人
the
が
pet
高値を付き合うのを見てるのも
All
楽
the
しいしね。
pet.
しかも寄付品だから元手はタダ。実行委員会もなかなかお
Also, I got
金
some
儲けがお
popcorn
上
because
手で
this
す
is
わね。
mostly just gonna be me reading.
売り上げは全部
So,
冬の町会温
she'll,
泉旅行の
almost
泡
like
麦
watching
茶
a
代
movie,
にな
you
る
know?
のです。古いのです。
フルデさんは泡の出る麦茶はまだまだいけません。
だいたい話は見えてきたが、でもよ、俺はオークションの司会なんかやったことないぜ。
でもケイ
I
チ
forget
君
where
な
he's
ら
from,
きっとや
but
り遂げられると思うな。売り上
I
げ
think
の
he's
1割は
definitely
お小遣いになるとか
more from the
言われたらものすごい頑張りそう。
まあな、実績に応じて何か得られるってんならそりゃ頑張るだろうな。
逆に実績が出なかったらとんでもない罰ゲームが待ってるかもしれ
not
ま
the
せんです
penalty
よ。
games.
ちょっと待て佐藤、なんで俺がそんなリスキーな条件を引き
Wasn't
受
there
け
the
なけれ
one
ばならない
time
んだ。
where
そもそも俺は依
he
頼さ
had
れ
to
て
wear
る
like
立
a
場だって
maid
ことを忘
outfit
れ
or
るなよ。
something?
俺はこう見えても スケジュール多忙で忙しいんだぜ。
I'm pretty
そ
sure
ういう
that
のは
happened.
マネージャーを通してくれた。
My agent! You're literally like 14.
どうよケイちゃ
What
ん、
do you mean you're busy?
もし何かご褒美がないといけないってんなら内容と条件次第では考えてもいい
I
よ。
wanna say he's like
私もケイちゃんを推薦
13,
した以上、
13, and 15. I
何
can't
としても
remember.
引き受けてもらいたいと思ってるからね。最大限配慮するよ。
ほ
We can make a
う、太っ
deal.
腹じゃねえか。さーて、何がいいかね。
罰ゲームを何にするかというのはよくあるけど、ご褒美は何がいいってのは初めてかもしれないね。言われてみればそうですわね。私たちってつくづく過酷な状況で戦ってますのね。
Ren is right. The whole purpose of our club's activities is to escape the punishments we come up with. Even if we win, we never get a prize or reward for it. Yeah, why don't we?
め
Rude.
ったにない美味しい話にケイチが困っていますのです。
It just doesn't exist. You just
兄さんの
don't get
方で
punished.
何
That's
か
the
提案
reward.
できないの？何でもいい
Just
よっ
don't
て
get
言われたら
punished.
かえって思いつかないよね。
そうだね。あ、じゃあこんなとこでどう？
Uh-huh.
エンジェルモートのデザートフェスタの入場券とか。おねえ、ケチくさいこと言わないで、どーんと3年分くらい
Ooh,
プレゼント
3
しちゃえばいい
years.
じゃないです
Oh,
か。
whoa. We're not gonna live past this summer, though. I mean, what? Sorry, what?
それは豪華ではございませんの。
確かデザートフェスタのチケットってものすごい購買率で闇取引もされてるんだろ、そんなの3年分なんて本当にいいのかよ。
もちろん成功報酬だよ。盛り上げてくれないとダメだからね。
大丈夫だよ。ケイチくんならきっと大盛り上がりになる。
それについては私も同感です。というか、どんなめちゃくちゃな売り工場が飛び出すかかなり楽しみです。
What is he gonna be auctioning
た
off?
とえ
That's what I
タコの
wonder.
入ってないたこ焼きであっても行列させてしまいそうですものね。
おいおい、
Oh, he's done that before. He's done that before.
いやい
That's
や、
so funny.
ケイちゃんなら見事売りかねないね。
うんうん。
The little Easter eggs they throw in here are like, oh hey, he did that before, didn't he? Yeah.
お前ら俺をおだててるのかバカにしてるのか微妙だぞ。
We would never make fun of you,
どうですか、前原
Keiichi.
君。先生もあなたならきっとうまく盛り上げてくれると思います。
Chia Sensei was also on the committee. She must have backed up Mion's suggestion when she brought up my name at the last meeting.
僕もケイチの口先マジックが見たいのですよ。
マジックNipa! I
バナ
fucking
ナの
love
叩き売りだっ
Rika.
て
She's
さ、
so
そ
cute.
の売り工場の切符の良さに感服して買わせるわけだしね。
This little baby you must protect.
前原ケイチワンマンシ
She's
ョ
a
ン
lot more mature than she looks, though, because she's been through how many?
おいおい、俺はまだ引き受けると言った覚えはないぞ。
大丈夫
How
だ
many
よ。
reruns of
ケイ
this
チ君なら
summer?
できるよ。
God,
チェ
dozens probably.
他人事だと思って
Hundreds
気楽に言いやがって。
I don't even remember how many she said. It was a lot.
そんなつもりじゃないのに。
How old?
どうかね前原君。わしも君ならやれると思うぞ。
Fine.
男なら一つみんなの期待に応えてみんか。
No, that is toxic. No. If I had to, I'm sure I could do it. Mion has made me do so many different things for the club, and I've learned a lot from that. Besides, this would be the first time I could get a reward without having to worry about punishment. Should be fun, too. This was the first time so many people were counting on me like this. To be honest, it made me pretty happy. Happy Keiichi. That's not gonna last. I was worried about getting dragged into something that required a lot of work. I couldn't erase the thought of my mind. But I was in Hinamizawa. People in this village would never do anything to trade. Truly believe that it would do a lot to liven up the festival if I became the host of their auction. I've only been here for a short period of time, but I know that the people here are honest and kind. Never betray you. You're so fucking funny, Keiichi.
そこまで言われちゃ引き受けないわけにはいかないな。見てろよ、俺がやるからにはドカンと盛り上げてやるぜ。エンジェルモートのチケットを忘れるなよ。3年どころか 10年分くらい進呈したくなるくらいに盛り上げてやる
10
ぜ。
years! God damn!
よく言ってくれたケイちゃん。
Everyone gave me a round of applause. How many times has this happened in my life? Not once. This is the first time I've ever been applauded. Has it?
しかしよ、よく俺みたいな
I'm
若
surprised
造
that
を
no one
推薦して
disagreed with this
町
suggestion.
会
Oh,
の
he's
人が
saying,
納
my
得
bad.
してくれたよな。
There are lots of old people in the village committee. I'm a young guy who only just moved here. I've known for a while that Mion has a lot of influence locally, but I couldn't believe that everyone in the committee would accept it just like that.
まあ
Oh yeah,
基
Mion
本
or
的に
Shion
は
says
頭の固
something.
い年寄り連中ばっかりですけどね。時代も徐々に
They're
変わり
very,
始
very
め
high
てるってことです。
Them and Rika, very high up.
ひなみ沢もダム戦争に打ち勝って、これからは新しい時代を築き、どんどん栄えさせていかなくちゃ
The
なら
damn
ない。
conflict
だから
was the
若
huge
者歓
thing. They talk about
迎、
that
よ
a
そ者
lot.
飛び入り大歓迎って風にどんどん意識改革をしていかなくちゃならないんだよ。
圭一は若くてよそ者で、しかも受けがいいので、まさにぴったりなのですよ。
受けがいいね。
Who can do it?
どうして俺の知名度がそんなに高いのか
Thank you,
不
Raina,
思
for
議
the
でならねえぜ。
patapatapatas.
多分みーちゃんの罰ゲームと密接な関
I
係
think
が
I
あ
should
る
have
と
my
思うかな。
patapatapas I can press today. Because I'm
やっ
not
ぱ
like...
りそれか。
There we are! The patapatapatas.
じゃあこれで決まりで
I'm
すね。
not so intent on playing a game that I have to use all my keyboard and
前原君のご両親の電話でお
mouse.
話ししますので、
So I can
一応
actually
前
press
原
the
君の方から
button,
も
guys.
ご両親
Can
にこ
actually
の度
do
の
it.
件を話しておいてください。
I'm sure my parents will have no problem with it. They won't have any objections to raise, at least. His parents are, like, never involved. They might ask me why my name was brought up, though. They just leave and you never see them for, like, 98% of the game. In the middle of lunch break at the moment, Chie-sensei and the principal had come along together. And Mion scared me by saying that they all had something to talk to me about. Oh, so that was it. My stomach wasn't digesting my lunch particularly well.
相原さん、聞いてましたよ。
Oh, hey, buddy.
すごいじゃないですか。
Hey, little buddy.
町会から推
This
薦を
is
受け
his
るなん
little
て
mini-me's that follow him around
すごい名誉ですよ。
everywhere.
おう、富田君に岡村君か。
Actually,
そんな
Tomita
名
kind
誉
of
な
looks
ら
like him.
君らに譲ってもいいぞ。
無理ですよ。前原さんじゃなくちゃ務まらないです。
What do you mean? It's fine. I realized the whole class was talking about me. They were saying how fun Wada Nagashi was going to be and how high their expectations were for it. Oh, those expectations! Might have taken on a huge responsibility. I need to do my best to succeed at it.
そうだそうだ、忘れてた。うち
I
の
don't
ばっ
think
ちゃ
he's
が
done
ね
the auction
いっぱいおはぎを
before.
作
I
った
think
んだよ。
this is new.
学校のみんなにも食べてもらえって持ってこさせられたんだっけ。
I don't remember. Mion clapped her hands as she remembered and took a box out of her bag. She opened the lid, letting us see a bunch of ohagi neatly packed inside.
あらあら、たくさん入っていますのね。クラス全員に食べていただけそうなくらいありますわよ。はあ、かわいい、おいしそう。
ばっちゃはおはぎを作るのが大好きなんですよ。どういうわけか。
宗平が大好きだったのですよ。
ああ、じっちゃが好きだったらしいね。山盛り食べたらしいよ。
じゃあみーちゃんのおばあちゃんにとっては
It is a
おはぎは亡
I need
く
to
な
look
った
that
お
up,
じいちゃんを
probably.
思い出す大切なものなんだね。
そうなの？じっちゃが好きなのって
I
缶詰だと思
forgot.
ってました。
There was a comment someone made about
シオンは缶詰がダメなんだよ
Shion's
ね。
like stance, how she always has her hand like this.
お、
They said
どうして？
it always looks like she's trying to smack someone's butt. Like look at her hand. And it's always
缶
at the
詰
butt
臭と言い
level.
ますか。あの独特の鉄
I
臭
can't
さ
get that
が
out of my
どう
brain
も
every time I
苦
see
手で
her model now.
あら、
Because it's so true.
人に嫌がるかぼちゃを無理やり食べさせて好き嫌いはいけないとか言ってる人が随分な話でございますのね。
ふふん、実はね。ちょっとね、人が嫌がることを言うなんて最低ですよ。
I eat
なん
canned
だか
food
わ
a
からんが
lot.
ミオンが珍しく
Which is terrible
握
for you,
った
but-
シオンの弱みらしいな。面白いから普段の恨みを晴らせ。ほれほれ。
Yeah, they're always fighting. Machine gun knee kicks Mion launch from close quarters weren't bad, but I don't think she expected Shion to land a capture suplex for it. Because Shion is the stronger of the two siblings. Sometimes.
お姉に言われるくらいなら自分で言います。ですね、葛西っていうたちの悪い親父がいましてね、そいつがですね、
Kasai.
純粋無垢だった幼い私にですね、缶詰の中にはたまに人間の肉が混じっているとか、
That's such a
とんでもな
superstition.
いことを吹き込みやがったせいなんです。
都市伝説にたまにそういうのがあるね。
あるある。俺たちのとこでも牛丼の肉は実は犬の肉だとか、ハン
Ew.
バーガーには
Don't
ミ
do
ミズの
that to
肉
my
が混じってる
burgers.
とか聞いたことあるぜ。
そんな話がありますの？
Alice, good morning, Alice. It's almost afternoon, but you still got there in time.
そうなんですよ、佐
It's
藤君。
basically movie watching
私は
time,
ト
so
ラ
I
ウマ
just
を
have my
負わされた
popcorn
犠
and
牲
my
者
water
なん
and
です。
同情はしますけど、かぼちゃフルコースの恨みと相殺するにはまだだいぶ足りませんわ
just in
ね。
time.
さとこは根に持ちすぎなのですよ。
She's my
僕は美味しくて
favorite.
ペロリだったのです。
I have a cosplay of her
なん
shrine
だか
name
よ。
outfit,
そんな
actually.
話をしてるとさ、このミオンのお
I
は
need
ぎ
to
に
bring
も
her to a con
何か
eventually, but
妙
I
なものが
never
混じってそうな
have
気がしてく
the
るよな。
opportunity to like think about it.
ほう。
Because
確
I'm
かに
usually
この私が
duoing
持っ
with
てきた
someone
おは
else
ぎ
when
だ
I
も
go
ん
to
ね。
con.
中に何の細
Yes,
工もないっ
happy
てのは
chores.
確か
Good
に不用
job.
心
We'll
だ
take a
よ
little
ね。
break. You're right.
ヒヒヒヒヒ。
Hee. Ohagi that Mion brought. You consider that it's only natural to suspect she probably did something to them. Wasn't Ohagi the thing she brought him in the first chapter? What's going on? I feel like I was forgetting something. She brought him that, but I didn't remember anything that I was forgetting. It was like one of those deja vu moments. I'd never been in this situation before, but my mind was telling me that I'd been there before.
どうしたのですか、ケイチ？
She gives
Yeah,
him the ohagi in the
why?
first chapter,
前にも
and there's
ミ
like
オンにおは
needles
ぎを
in
もらっ
it,
た
I
ことがあっ
think,
た
and
よう
it
な気が
starts
したんだけど、
him
これが初めて
panicking
だよな。
to think that everyone's out to kill him, and he goes on a huge fucking like psychotic breakdown.
いや
I'm pretty sure it was
これが初め
ohagi
てだと思うな。
because
何か
Mion
の勘
talks
違い
about
だ
how
な。
her grandma makes it all the time.
私の記憶でもミオンさんが学校におはぎを持ってきたのは今年はこれが初めてのはずでしたよ。
It's pretty fucked up.
はあはあ、わかった。おじさんが持ってきたおはぎだもんだから、何か罠があると思って警戒
It's
してる
so
んで
weird
し
that she
ょ。
calls herself this old man.
そこは威張るとこじゃなくて、
Mion, you're
日頃の
like
お姉の
fucking
そこを反省すべ
15.
きとこだと思いますけど。
Chill. You're not
そうだよ
old.
な。同じおはぎでもレナとかが作ったおはぎなら絶対そんな風には思わない。レナっておはぎ作
Because
るの
Rena's always
何気に
innocent.
上手
She
なん
would
だよな。
never like
小さいけ
try to
ど
blow
丁
up
寧
the
で。
school with a bomb. No, that never happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
レナ、おはぎなんて作ったことないよ。
What? What was I saying? Interesting. Why did I say that Rena had made ohagi before? Why would I know that Rena makes her ohagi small? I have no idea where that memory was coming from. It might be because there's I can only assume it was an error in my brain. Mion was saying that this was her first time bringing ohagi to class. As I tilted my head in confusion, everyone started reaching inside the box. Rena took one out for me and put it on the lid. I stared at it closely. Why was I so concerned about it? Mion said that I was probably concerned that she did something to the ohagi, but it wasn't quite that. I really didn't know how to explain it. I felt like I was forgetting something important. I'd forgotten something important. And all I had was the obligation to remember it. In front of me was nothing but a single ohagi that came from Mion's house. I was frustrated, but I really couldn't think of anything. There's no way I could remember it. Because I didn't know anything. Because he doesn't have any memory of it in this timeline.
さっきからおはぎをじっと見て
どうしましたのですか？
Damn, that would be really
Yeah.
shitty if you couldn't
デジャブ
remember.
だっけ既視感だっけ
But then you'd like have this
たまにないか。
mental feeling of like
初めて
remembering,
見るものなのにさ
but you don't
過
know
去
how,
にすでに
why.
見ていたように感じるときって
Talk about severe deja vu.
過去にもミオンにおはぎをもらったように感
Rika
じるのですか？
knows. She
でも
knows.
気のせいだよな
She's
ミオン自身そんなことは覚
surprisingly
えがないって
like
言ってるしさ
deceptive because she acts all sweet and innocent like she doesn't know anything,
ケイチ、
but she actually knows
あり
everything.
もしない記憶なんてありませんです。もしケイチが覚えているのなら、それは本当にあったことなのですよ。
Rika-chan told me something strange. I didn't usually take her random comments seriously, but ever since I saw her making those predictions in the toy store, I've been curious about her special powers. She's basically a god. I felt like she was telling me something deep.
大予言のリカちゃまが言うと
Sort of.
なんだか不思議な感じがしてくるなそれってつまり
Sort of.
輪廻転生とかそういう話なんだろ
僕は宗教のことはよくわかりませんです。
It's kind of funny coming
ただ
from you.
僕が言いたいのは、
But she's a shrine
ケ
maiden.
イチが知っていることなら、それはあったことなのです。だからそれを思い出して
Try
ほ
and
しい。
remember.
気のせい
Try
だと
remember,
片付けないで
Keiichi. Try
記憶とし
remember.
てほしい。僕が何を言っているのかわかりますですか？
ん
I was a little surprised by how serious she sounded. I always thought that Rika was just an innocent girl who fooled around all the time saying things like me, Benny Pa. But all of a sudden she seemed like a totally different girl. Yep. Was I supposed to take it as a joke? She definitely has a dual personality thing. Serious look on her face told me it wasn't the time for jokes.
リカちゃ
Though.
んがそう言うならじゃあ俺は別の世界とかでミオンにおはぎをもらったことがあるんだろうな
バカにしませんから、全部話してください。どこでどうして、なぜミーにおはぎをもらうのですか？
いつどこでどうしてなんて具体的に聞かれれば聞かれるほどやっぱり妄想だったんだなって思っちゃうよ
It definitely
寝ぼけ
is
てみた
not.
夢なのかもしれないな
Although dreams do have that effect of like
夢でも
feeling so real
もっと
and then
覚え
just
てるは
being
ずなのです。
dreams. So I feel that.
話してください。
What was up with her? She seems so curious about it. She, like, really wants to know how much you know. I didn't think the story was that interesting. Her asking so much started making me feel uncomfortable. Still, something told me that I need to talk to Rika-chan about everything I could. Please, she has the answers, please. Maybe she could tell me about my dreams. I should just tell her everything. After all, she's the shrine maiden for Oyashiro-sama.
な
She basically, like, is
俺は多分
Oyashiro-sama.
学校を休んだ
Pretty
んだ
much.
風邪なんだと思う
Oh yeah, he skips home from school. Yeah. And they bring him lunch. Rena was there. Yep. And it has like needles in it.
それでミオンのやつお見舞いのおはぎだって言って持ってくるんだよ今日言ってるのと同じでおばあちゃんが作ったって言ってた気がする
それで、
うんそれでそのおはぎを食べるんだよ二人を返した後にそれでさおはぎの中からここから先
I
は
don't know why
間違
we
いない
laughing.
漫画の受け売りだよ多分昔読んだ漫画のエピソードと記憶が混同してるんだそんなことがあるわけない
ケイチ、
Keiichi?
話を続けるのです。おはぎを食べて、中から
ああいや
Needles.
俺が小学校の頃に読んだ怖い
So
漫
we
画に
need
さ
those.
ハンバーグの中
I
に
remember.
裁縫針が混ぜられているっていう
I remember.
話があったんだよシオンもさっき言ってたろ小さい頃に怖がらされると
Yep.
トラウマになって残るっていうやつだよ
Not much about that comment. I think it was about this girl who had an accident and held a grudge against the person who caused the injury on her face. It was a really cheap plot now that I think about it. But since I was still a little kid, that comic really scared me. In one chapter, the girl cast a curse on the guy's food. He eats a burger with sewing needles inside of it, and he goes, "Oh yeah!" Something like that. It still freaked me out. The image was so grotesque and shocking to me. That grew into a kind of trauma for a while I searched for sewing needles in my food every time I ate something. I couldn't eat burgers for a while for that reason. My parents got concerned and my hunger overcame my trauma. Eventually the experience disappeared into the flow of time.
今でもさ、ちょっとでも怪しいシチュエーショ
So
ンがある
did
と
they know
針
that?
が混じってるかもしれないなって考えちゃうんだよ。もちろん
Did Mion
ちょっと
and
考え
Rena
る
know
だ
that
け
he had that trauma? Because I don't think he's talked about
みんな
that
の弁当
before.
をつっつくときいちいち中身を改めてたら失礼だもんな。針を混ぜるなんて危ないいたずらなんて絶対するわけがないって思うから、そんなくだらないトラウマなんか気にしないで食べてるんだよ。
That's very concerning.
今でもちょっと怖いのですね。
未だに忘れられないってことは、今でも心の中には。
ではそのミーのおはぎからは出てきたのですね。裁縫針が。
There definitely was.
出てきた。
Inside the ohagi there was a needle, just as I feared. Or was I telling you about something that was just my imagination? Mion and Rena came to see me when I took a day off from school. That never happened, so obviously my brain was just making it up. But I spoke to Rika-chan because she said she wouldn't make fun of me. Oh, she's not. She's very
目の
serious.
前にあるこのおはぎにも針が混じっているように感じて怖いですか？だからさっきから手をつけられない。
I realized that Mion and Rena were also looking at me. They were wondering why I was staring at the ohagi without eating it.
あ、ケイちゃんおはぎ嫌いだった？嫌いだったなら無理しなくても。
Mion was assuming that I didn't like ohagi. He felt bad for forcing me to eat something I didn't like. In turn, I felt guilty seeing that sad expression on her face.
お姉のおはぎなんで中に何か妙なものが仕込まれてるって疑ってるんですよ。
Yeah, how dare. How dare you give him trauma? I immediately denied Shion's remark. No one else would understand what I'm saying.
いや、はっきり断言できるぜ。ここにあるミオンのおはぎには針なんて絶対に入っていねえ。
針？そんなのなんでおじさんが入れるわけ？
Yeah. Why did you in the first chapter? What the fuck?
当たり前だよな。ミオンは確かにおとなしくお見舞いを持ってくるようなやつじゃない。タバスコを入れるとかそういう冗談はやるかもしれないが、間違っても針なんて混ぜない。シャレになることとならないことのけじめははっきりつけてる。だからそんなことは絶対にありえない。
I grabbed the ohagi with my hand. As I brought it in front of my mouth, I felt the need to check it just in case. But I told myself clearly, hey, you wimp, when are you going to stop being scared of that stupid comic book? Mion brought these ohagi to treat everyone in the class. There's no way she put needles inside of these. I forced that stupid memory out of my brain and munched on the ohagi.
うめえじゃねえかよ。
うまくて当然。針なんか入ってなかったでしょ？
そりゃそうだよな。本当にすまん。自分でもくだらないトラウマにずっと縛られてたって呆れるぜ。
My heart had stopped pounding and I felt relieved. Next moment I got the urge to say something to Mion.
おい、ミオ。
何？
おはぎうまかったぜ。
は？大きなカバンを担いできた甲斐があったよ。
I didn't know. Wait, what did you say? I'm sorry. Yeep. Stop it.
さあさあ。
Hold on. Stop it. I didn't know what I wanted to tell her again that I didn't know why I wanted to tell her again that the ohagi was delicious, but I was glad that I said it to her. I was finally released from that odd feeling.
さとこもケイちゃんを見習ってかぼちゃをガブリといきましょう。
Yeah,
よく煮
eat
込ん
the
であります
squash.
から柔らかいですよ。
シオンさんのお弁当は何を食べてもかぼちゃが出てくるんですもの。私がトラウマになりましたよ。しーちゃんはさとこちゃんのかぼちゃ嫌いを直すのに頑張ってるんだね。
シオンも熱心だよね。まったく将来の妹のつもりなのかね。
By the time I finished eating my ohaki, we had returned to our usual fun lunch time.
圭一、もしもですよ。
もしもなんだよ。
本当に食べ物から裁縫針が出てきたらどうしますか？
そんなことあるわけないね。
Have a panic attack.
リカちゃん、
That's exactly what he
脅
did.
そうったって無駄だぜ。
It had a full-on
Gee,
panic attack.
それでも出てくることがもしもあったなら。
Rika looked at me with a serious face. What's gotten into her
しつこい
lately?
ぜ。そんなことは絶対ありえないし、信じない。
That's why I made that firm statement.
わかりましたです。圭一、しつこくてごめんなさいなのです。もしも針が出てきたらそれはきっと圭一の勘違いなのですよ。ミーが混ぜたなんて絶対に思わないであげてくださいなのです。
ミオンを疑うなってことなんだろ。ああ、当然だぜ。俺は絶対に仲間を疑わないぞ。
Raised my fist in the air. Rika-chan finally looked happy. She smiled as if she was relieved by my words. Interesting. Yeah, that makes me wonder if they knew about that, if he had told them, or like if they remembered it from a previous timeline, or like this timeline, which this is a new timeline, but I don't fucking know. Timeline Higurashi shit is weird. The items donated for the auction were gathered
いろいろとあるな。お中元のタオルセットとか使い古した家具あたりまでは想像してたが、何気に結構いろいろあるじゃねえかよ。
すごいね。テレビや冷蔵庫まである。それにこれまだ新品同然だね。
驚いたでしょう。その雑記関係のお店から余り物とか店頭展示品とか売り物にはならないけどまだまだ新品同然のものをいろいろと供出してもらったわけよ。片遅れ品とかをあまり気にしないならちょっとは立派なもんでしょ。
電化製品に貼り付けてある日焼けした新製品というシールがなんだか哀愁を誘いますわね。
いやいや、サトコ、そういうのが逆にポイント高いんだぞ。他人の使用済みの道具よりは多少すすけてても未使用の方が気持ちよく使えるってもんだ。
Hell, I don't care if people
最
use
近
it.
の若
I
者
just
は
I
潔
just
癖
want
なので
sheep.
す。
Obviously, I'm not going to use something that's
私は
extremely
あまり
worn
そういう
out,
の
but
気に
like,
しないから
if it
安ければ
works and it's
こういうの
only
もいい
been
か
like
な。
slightly used,
レ
sure.
ナさんはさっきから家具類に興味があるみたいですね。一人暮らしでも考えてるんですか？
あ、お父さんとお家の模様替えをしようって話になってるの。でもちゃんとした家具屋さんで買おうとすると高いからこういうリサイクル品を探してたの。模様替えって家具まで変えちゃうんですの？ずいぶん大掛かりですのね。うちのお父さんね、つい最近やっと就職したの。だから新生活のための心機一転ってことで大掛かりに行きたいの。
Well, that's nice.
レナのお父さんは就職したのですか
Did that mean Rena's father was unemployed until recently?
うん。お母さんと別れてから丸々1年就職しようとしなかっ
Yeah, I
た
get
レナも怒ってたんだよ。ちゃんと働きなさいって。
Rena explained that with her usual smile, so it took me a moment to realize how serious it was. Her parents were divorced and she... Hold on. Ah! Reading too
お母
fast!
さんとお父さんが別れたんですの？
Her parents were divorced and she wasn't living in a very good family environment. Rena talked about it like it was nothing. Okay. Got it.
うん。茨城の町でね、 離婚しちゃったの。それでお父さんとレナはひなみ沢に戻ってきたんだけどね。お父さん、離婚のショックからずっと立ち直れなくて、ずっと寝たりぼーっとしたり遊んだりしてるだけだった。
離婚も失恋も相手を愛した分だけ傷も深まります。その落ち込みの深さは決して悪いものじゃないと私は思いますけど。
そんなロマンチックな話ならいいんだけど、それでお父さんいつの間にやら悪いお店に入り浸っていることが分かっちゃったの。ある日預金通帳を見てひどい金遣いにびっくり。
レナのお母さんはさ、結構有名なデザイナーさんだったらしくてさ、相当稼いでたらしいんだよね。そのおかげでだいぶたくさんの慰謝料をもらってたらしい。
そのせいでお父さんは働かなくても生活できちゃったんだよね。それが立ち直りを遅れさせちゃった原因の一つかもしれない。
それは一理あるな。お金に余裕がなかったら働かざるを得ない。そうすりゃ忙しくなって落ち込んでる暇なんかなくなるもんな。
朝起きて登校や出勤をして夕方に帰ってきて食事して寝るっていう当たり前の生活習慣は乱れると結構堕落するもんです。私も学園から抜け出してきた後、しばらく無職な生活をしてたことありますからよくわかります。
お家に引きこもって一人でうじうじしているのが一番いけませんです。
Listen, don't be calling me out like that, Rika.
そ
Come
うだ
on
ね。
now.
リカちゃんの言う通りだったんだよ。だからレナね、お父さんときっぱり話をしたの。家長としての責任とか親としての自立とか、そういう話を互いに正座しながら一晩みっちりと。
レナって普段はちゃらけてるけど、ここ一番ではきっちりしてるからな。親が相手でもきっちりってのはさすがだぜ。
そんなことないよ。レナも最初はショックだったよ。だってお父さんなんだか知らない女の人に貢いでるっぽかったんだもん。娘としてはショックだよ。それでレナはどうしたのですか？一人で悩んでるうちは全然ダメ。悪いことばかり考えちゃって。だからみーちゃんに打ち明けて相談してみたの。
私は話を聞いて相槌を打っただけだよ。レナが自分で考えをきっちり整理して父親とちゃんと話をするべきだって結論したんだよ。相談なんてとんでもない。
いや、そういうのは大事だろう。人に話すことで悩みってのは
Yeah, that's
結
what
構冷
therapy's
静に
all
考
about.
えられるもんだしな。
そういうもんですかね。相談する程度で解決する悩みならその程度だったってことじゃないんですか？
そんなことないよ、しーちゃん。私もみーちゃんと話をするまでは相手の女の人を闇討ちしようとか物騒なことしか思いつかなかったもん。でもよくよく考えてみればそんなの全然最善の解決策じゃない。まず話し合うことから始めないとね。それでレナは話し合ってどうしたのですか？
Wait, in her chapter, didn't she
お父さんがグダグダしてる
murder
のは
his,
お金のせいだってことになってね。口座を別の銀行に移し替えて通帳とインカ
I
ー
think they ended
が
up
レナ
getting
が預かることに
engaged,
なっ
but she was using him for his money.
た。だからお父さんは毎月私からお小遣いをもらってるんだよ。
I think she ended up murdering her, if I remember,
なんだかレナさんのお家は親と子が逆転してしまってますわね。
because she was a jerk.
結局さ、むやみやたらな大金がレナのお父さんを堕落させてたわけさ。金銭感覚が戻れば変なお店にも行かなくなるし、ちゃんと働かなくちゃいけないって気にもなるからね。
でもあれはいいタイミングだった。お父さん知らない女の人のマンションの頭金を払おうとしている矢先だったの。危ないところだった。
She was she was trying to convince him to move
よくよく聞いてみると、ずいぶんヘビーな話だ
to
な。
pay all her
一歩間
expenses
違えば
basically, and then she
家
was
庭
gonna
崩
like
壊だった
drop
んだよ
him.
な。
そうだね。 もしあの時私がみーちゃんに相談しなくてうじうじと今日を迎えていたら今頃きっ
And in that
と
chapter, she isolated herself. So it went
その
worse.
女の人を殺そうなん
But
て
in this
考えていたか
in
も
this
しれない
reality, in this timeline, she talked to someone about it. It kept her from everyone laughed. Oh my god. Help. I was talking. Everyone laughed at hearing such a dangerous thing come out of Rena's mouth. Rena laughed too, but I saw something serious in her eyes. It was probably true that she once thought about murdering that lady. She seduced Rena's father so that she'd get money out of him. Yep. Knowing how short-tempered I am, I might do the same if that happened to me. Oh. I think she made the right decision in talking to Mion instead of being irrational.
偉
Yeah.
いよな。家族の
Ichi
問
does a
題
lot
なん
of
て
bad shit
恥ずかしくてなかなか
in
話せるも
his
んじゃない
chapter
ぜ。
too. They all do.
そう
They
だ
all
よ
do
ね
bad shit.
みーちゃんに打ち明けようと踏ん切りをつけるにはレナもちょっと時間が必要だった。決め手になったのは夢なの。
After I finish, like, the visual novels, I need to go through and actually watch the entire anime.
あの頃は布団の中でいつも一人悩んでた。だからきっと夢の中でまで私は悩んでたんだと思うの。
As the anime is just like a quicker paced version. My dream, I thought about what would happen to me if I didn't do anything. I don't know if what I saw was my imagination or a prediction of the future. Well, that depends on
夢の中の
what
未来では
timeline this
お
is.
父さんはその知らない女の人とも
Whether it's in
っ
the
と
past or
もっ
the
と
future.
仲良くなっててとうとうお家にまで連れ込むようになってるの。
My dad and I don't smoke, but there was an ashtray in the living room. Food in our guest room was now hers. In the bathroom, there was a toothbrush and shampoo I'd never choose to buy. It was an unusual sight.
それはとても嫌な、いえ、辛いシチュエーションですわね。
Stoker never told me, but I'd heard she also lost her parents. Yeah, heard she went through tough times, but she was taken in by her aunt and uncle. They were absolute dicks. Someone told me about that once. Stoker seemed to understand Rena's pain very well. That's why she looks so distraught.
うん。それはとても辛いシチュエーション。私は家に居場所がなくなってだんだんと追い詰められていくの。それでちょっとした些細なきっかけで私はその女を殺してしまう。
夢にしては嫌に生々しい展開ですね。それで
So everyone's starting to, like,
そしたらもう
remember things from
私は
different
人殺しなん
timelines,
だよ
but they
ね。
think
誰にも殺しのことを知られたくないっ
like
て
a dream or it's like hazy to them.
怖がって誰も信用できなくなって毎日毎日を死体を埋めた場所で過ごすの。その場を離れたら誰かに死体を見つけられちゃうような気がして
She ended up staying at a car, if I remember.
いつまでも。
嫌な
Like
未
an
来だ
abandoned
な。
car. It slept
夢の
there.
中だけで済んでよかったと思うぜ。
あれは夢だったのかな。私はね、
Deja
あれは
vu?
きっとそのまま何もしないでいたらきっと迎えた未来なんじゃないかなって思うの。だから翌朝目が覚めた時とても怖くて震えが止まらなかった。私とお父さんの家なのに知らない香水の匂いがするような気
Trauma will
さ
do
え
that
し
to you,
た。
man.
そしてその夢が現実になるのが来年なのか来月なのかひょっとしたら明日なのではないかとどんどん怖くなったの。そこまで追い詰められたらもうみーちゃんに打ち明けるのにためらいはなかったね。
レナがものすごい神妙な顔で内緒の相談があるなんて言ってきた時はおじさんはてっきり変な検査薬で陽性でも出ちゃったんじゃないかと真面目に思ったよ。
She's too
まあ
young
実
for
際
that.
今だから
Well,
笑い
like,
話だけ
unfortunately,
ど
that does happen
当
with
時は本
younger
当に笑え
women,
なかった
but
ね。
みーちゃんは本当に頼りになったよ。落ち着いて私の話を聞いてくれて現実的な解決の糸口を
good
探っ
job,
てくれた。
Mion.
それ
Proud
で
of you, girl. I need to look up the
やっぱり親子
timeline
でちゃんと
actually,
話
so
さ
I
ない
can
とダ
remember
メ
what
だってい
years
う
they are.
当たり前の到達点にた
I
どり
think
着
it's
い
in
たっ
like
て
the
わけ。
70s. I don't remember if it's the
それは
70s or the 80s.
夢ではなかったかもしれませんですよ。そうだね。ただの夢じゃなかったのかもしれないね。
もしその夢を見なかったらレナはミオンに打ち明けなかった可能性もあるもんな。 レナの人生を決めた重要な夢だぜ。
夢か。
あんたも夢を見るんだ。へえ。
Only Mion picked up on what it was. Wait, did I miss something again? Hold on. You've had dreams too. She answered something in a small voice. Only Mion picked up on what it was. I don't know what she said, but based on Mion's reaction, she must have said something serious. Yeah, they had a whole chapter that they were like down each other's throats. By the way, Shion usually went to school in Okinomiya. However, she'd been coming to the school. That's what I was wondering! I was like, she doesn't go here? I didn't know why she chose to come this far. But she seemed to be having fun taking care of Satoko. Ah. I have no idea what brought Shion and Satoko together. Wait, weren't they on bad terms once? They were. Yeah. Huh? Is that true? Were they always that close or not? Oh, everything's confusing.
だから思ったの。人と相談するのはとても大事。
We'll have fun in a normal way, we'll laugh together in a normal way, and we'll fall in love in a normal way. We won't doubt each other. We'll trust each other. Hopefully.
仲間はただの遊び友達じゃない。本当に大切なことを打ち明けられる重要な存在なんだって。そんな当たり前のことに気づいたの。
Okay, so 1978 and 79 is like the dam project
だとしたら
things.
レナにとっては親子の問題を解決しただけでなく仲間の重要さにも気づけたわけなんだな。
1980,
だから
Stoko's
私も
parents
誰かが
die.
悩みを持ったら相談に乗りたいし、助けたい、絶対に力になりたい。だから私が打ち明けるに足る仲間だと信じてほしい。
1983 is when Keiichi
レナが
moves
言
to
っていますです。
moves to Hinamizawa. We all nodded at her without joking around. So this is the summer of 1983 that keeps repeating over and over and over and over. Wait, what? Oh, barely. Rika-chan's right, we all nodded at her without joking around. A moment later, we heard someone knocking on the door. We were all surprised. That person didn't mean to lock the door. She must have locked it by accident, not knowing it was already open. Heh. She turned the knob, thinking that it was now unlocked. Oh.
誰か中におった？
あー、ごめんなさい。今開けます。
Mion replied in a loud voice and walked toward the door. I heard her greeting the ladies from the town council.
ちょっとみんな、手を貸してくれる？
なんだなんだどうした？
Items for the auction? I immediately saw while Mion called us over. The people from the village committee had brought another donation. It was an old cupboard. We all helped carry it inside the room. As I walked through the door, I realized the Higurashi were starting to cry, taking over from the cicadas. Title drop!
前原君、あんた叩き売りの司会を引き受けてくれたんね。もうみんながあんたしか適任がいないんって太鼓判押すんよ。だからおばさん、前原君の司会が楽しみで楽しみで。
あ、いやせいぜい頑張りますので、あまり期待しないでくれると嬉しいです。
そんなこと言っちゃって。今日ここに来たのも売り物を吟味して売り文句を考えておきたいからなんですよ。当日は期待しましょう。
つったら叩き売りはちゃんと来ないかんね。
The other later smiled and told me they were looking forward to it. But even these people offered me a position of huge responsibility during the festival. So you could say that they've accepted me as a member of this village. I caused so much trouble where I lived before that I couldn't even go outside. Oh yeah, he was a really big troublemaker, but they're accepting me as a member of this village. I was so happy. Interesting. I feel bad that I haven't learned all their names, but I was going to do my best to entertain the villagers who were supporting me.
ミオンちゃんはどうする？ まだ残るんかいね。
Everything is like all super innocent and
ああいや、もう私たち
you
も
know
帰ります。
just
もうい
this
いよ
casual
ね
cute little country town, and then all of a sudden
雰囲気さえつかめりゃあと
after
は
that
出たとこ勝
festival
負だ
everything goes to
なるように
shit.
なるだろ。
綿流しには興味ないんだけど、ケイちゃんの司会は見たいな。私も来ようかな。
シオンさんもぜひいらっしゃいませ。みんなで一緒に騒ぐのは楽しいですわよ。
私は反対。シオンは沖宮に住んでるんだから、沖宮の祭りにでも行っちゃえ。
レナはシーちゃんが来るの賛成。シーちゃんが来ると
I'm pretty sure she always
みーちゃんが面
comes.
白くなる。では多数決により C の参加は決定なのですよ。
というわけです、お姉。当日は私のせいでお姉の地味っぷりが露呈しちゃうかもしれませんけど、まあ仲良くしてくださいね。シオン嫌い、シオン嫌い、シオン嫌い。
Romeo says, I know that they're actually close. Romeo tries to refuse her the more it was obvious how close they really were.
じゃあでよ。忘れ物とかない？明かり消すよ。
We made sure that we didn't leave anything inside and left the room. I looked around the shrine grounds when we unlocked the door. This big place will be filled with people on the day of Watanagashi.
このだだっ広い境内がお祭り一色になるんだよな。なんだか全然想像がつかないぜ。すっげえ楽しみだ。
模擬店とかがいっぱい並んで人もものすごいたくさん来るんだよ。きっと圭一くんもびっくりするかな年に一度なんてケチなことを言わず季節のたびにやってくれてもいいんですのにね。
Right?
そういや、季節の旅に来る人はいたね。
Photographer.
はい、そんな人いましたっけ？
あ、それは俺もわかるぞ。この間会ったカメラマン風の人だろ。
Oh, so he has
名
met
前
him.
はなんて言ったっけ？
I forgot his name.
圭一は富武を知っていますの
Tomitake.
です
That's what I
か？
thought. I was
So.
actually saying that in my brain,
Tomitake-san
but I
だった な。
couldn't remember if it was a
いや
different
先日の帰り道で会ってさ、
franchise or not. 'Cause
ミオン
there's
と
so
レナ
many
に
names
教え
running
てもら
around
った
in
だ
my
けだよ。
brain.
妙にたくましい体つきの割に腰の低い感じのおっさん。季節のたびにひなみ沢に来てる
Yep.
Mission
He's
な
always
旅行
like
写
the
真家なん
first to
だろ。
die, too.
自称でございますけどね。
Him and the nurse are like always the first to die. It's insane.
あの人が来ると今年ももう綿流しだなって気がするよ。それで綿流しが終わると本格的に夏が始まるんだよね。
And when everyone dies.
そう
What?
だね。でも今年は暑くなるのが早いからもうセミが鳴いてるけどね。異常気象とかテレビで言ってますわね。温暖化がどうしたこうしたとよく聞きますわ。
Global
暑い
warming.
夏。
Oh,
大いに
it's
結構
gotten
じゃね
even
えか。
worse in
夏が涼しかったら
2025.
なんだかつまらないぞ。
Yeah.
そうですね。
I hate
季
hot
節通りの
summers.
気候の方
Gross.
が気分がいいもんです。冷夏や暖冬はなんだか損した気になります。
Why can't we just have a
夏に負けないくらいこの夏の
middle
私たちも
ground
熱くい
weather
こう。
all
綿
year
流し祭
long
何人だ？
where we don't have to worry about what the fuck we have to wear?
今年の綿流しもみんなで一緒に楽しく過ごせますですよ。そうだね。楽しく過ごせるといいね。
お、レナは知らねえな。リカちゃんのは希望的憶測じゃねえんだぜ。本当の予言なんだぜ。だからリカちゃんが当日は楽しくなるって言ったら絶対にそうなる。
Yeah, they do
だって
always
これは運命なんだからな。
have fun at the
そうだろ
festival?
リカちゃん。
はい。
but then
運命なのです
the
よ。
bad shit happens right after. Rika-chan smiled with a nipa. Her smile assured me that the day of Watanagashi was going to be a great one for
当
her.
日さ、すぐにオークションってわけじゃねえんだろ。
は 始まるのは奉納演舞の一つ前だから、夕方からならみんなで一緒に遊ぶ時間は十分にあるよ。
そうですわよね。初めてのお祭りなのに一緒に遊べないなんて気の毒ですもの。
ケイちゃんの叩き売りを楽しんだ後はリカちゃまの奉納演舞ですか。なかなかいいじゃないですか。
ということは、僕は圭一の司会を最後まで見られず、途中で演舞の準備に行かなくてはならないのです。
へえ、リカちゃんも出番があるのか。演
Yeah,
舞ってなんだ？
she's a shrine maiden.
やっぱり古手神
She's
社の
the
巫
main
女さんだから
attraction.
何か神事でもやるわけか？
綿流しの名の通り、お布団の綿を清める演舞と儀式があるの。リカちゃんがとっても頑張るから、圭一くんもいっぱい応援してあげてね。それでね、リカちゃんが巫女さん装束で重い細工をフラフラしながら振るうのがね、とっても可愛いんだよ。お持ち帰り。
I'm taking her home with me. I've never seen a real shrine maiden before. I'm sure Rika-chan really will look adorable. I was looking more and more forward to the Higurashi festival. Oh, you look forward to it. You're not gonna look forward to what happens after it. Six of us will definitely have a great time there. How many more days did we have? I'd never been this excited about a festival in my life. Oh. Is that the end of the chapter? Usually there's like 10 chapters or something. Nope. Stoko's snoring sounded so subtle while I stood by the window.
Satoko?
Man, she really snoring. I could tell that she was sound asleep.
いびきが可愛いのですよ。
Hanyu laughs and tries to poke Satoko's nose. Hanyu's like Rika's good memories. Looked up to the sky. Nothing was different about the moon, but the moonlight seemed warmer than
機
usual.
嫌がいいようなのです。
I think.
確かにそうかもしれない。
I realized it only after Hanyu pointed it out. Thank you for tea time, by the way. I really was in a good mood. Otherwise, I wouldn't be enjoying the view of the sky on a humid night like this. I felt like bringing a toast to the moon. As I rooted around the back of the closet, Hanyu spoke to me, sounding noticeably upset.
リカ、お酒はダメなのですよ。いいじゃない。今夜くらい。
I mean, she's relived this summer how many times? Hanyu doesn't like alcohol. If I drink, Hanyu will also taste it, so she always complains when I try to drink. So I usually drink only when Hanyu is far away from me. Of course, she'll know right away when I do, but it's too late by then.
ダメです。リカにはワインは早いのです。リカは私よ。
Physically, she is the body of like an 8-year-old child, but mentally, she's like an adult at this point.
今日は喧嘩はなしだってば。わかったわ。じゃああんたにも飲みやすいように甘いオレンジジュースで割ってあげる。それならいいでしょ。ワインのあの匂いが嫌いなのです。
Me neither, girl.
だからダメ。
Hanyu jumped around and complained. She was making a lot of noise right where Satoko was sleeping.
やめなさい。サトコが起きちゃうでしょ。残念でしたなのです。僕はリカ以外には見えないし聞こえませんから。いくらトタンバタンしてもリカにしか聞こえないのです。あっかんべー。ははあんたはたまに身の程をわきまえないわね。
Yeah, she sounds so, like, much older and mature. I went to the refrigerator and took out a pack of orange juice and the spicy kimchi I usually use for her punishment.
はい問題。私がおつまみに激辛キムチをいっぱい食べて羽生が辛い思いをするのと オレンジジュースで割った甘いワインを飲んで一緒に月を楽しむのと
I
どっち
still
だ
don't
ね
get why people like spicy food. Like, why would you hate your body like that? Hanyu clenched her lips while jumping up and down, ready to burst into tears. Not Hanyu. She should be disciplined for being that nosy. But she's never has been since I'm the only one who can hear her. Besides, she's like air, so I can't even give her a spanking. Hanyu loves sweets, but she really hates spicy food. Same!
いいか飛び跳ねるのはおやめなさいませ
She does hear her. Stoko woke up suddenly and I had to hide my glass in a hurry. Stoko doesn't know about my drinking
今
habit.
何時だと思ってるんですの
And right back to sleep. She fell asleep again after speaking.
ほらあんたのドタンバタンがうるさいって注意されたわよこの安眠妨害
You nighttime nuisance! Just like I'm the only one that can see her, I'm usually the only person who can hear the noises she makes. However, that's not the case all the time. Hanyu does exist in this world. Sometimes people can actually hear and feel her existence. It doesn't happen too often, and most people think they just heard some random noise. Based on my experience, people who are in a critical condition like Satoko tend to hear her more often. When I say critical condition, I mean who have reached the L4 stage, as Irie would describe it. At that stage, there's nothing that can be done anymore. They will feel the existence and hear the noise of someone that they can't see. That would really mess with their mind. Hanyu stopped jumping up and down and gave up as I started pouring alcohol into my glass. I wasn't drinking because I wanted to be mean to Hanyu. In fact, I always wished she would enjoy it too. I poured only a little bit of wine inside the glass and diluted it with plenty of orange juice. In fact, this cocktail is pretty much just juice. I always put some crushed ice inside the glass. With that, it looked like a real cocktail they serve at a bar.
ほら羽生これくらいの薄さなら平気でしょ
Yeah, give me like 99% orange juice and like 1%. I licked the edge of the glass.
平気なのですそうじゃあ今夜はこの濃さにするわもう怖がらないで辛いのはしまうわ
Hanyu has been scared of that kimchi punishment for a while, so I put it back inside the refrigerator. She seemed relieved. Ooh, CG! I took the glass and headed back to the window. There was no breeze, but it seemed a little cooler.
ねえ羽
It's so
生あ
crazy,
なたも
like how
今回は
mature she
何かが違う
is versus like what her
って感じてる
physical body
圭一や
is.
レナの話ですか
Like how many
それから
times she's been through this
シオ
summer.
ンもねみんな過去の世界をごくわずかだけど記憶してるそしてそれを生かして致命的な失敗を避けているここにはそう珍しいことではないと思いますですでも圭一やレナ
Right?
シオンな
It's
ど
happening to everybody.
みんながみんな
That is a
同時
little
にそう
weird
な
of
る
a
ことは
coincidence.
僕もとても珍しいことだと思いますのです私はよく自分の運命をすごろくに例えるんだけど、これは3つ振ったサイコロがみんな6だったようなそういう幸運じゃないかと思うの僕たちの望む未来に最も近い位置からのスタートという意味では理科のその例えは正しいと思いますのですでもこれは理科が期待するような意味の奇跡ではありませんですよ
I knew what she was trying to say. She was telling me not to expect too much. The die is designed to have 6 sides. It's not a miracle if I roll it and get a 6. A true miracle is when I roll it once but get a 10, just like what happened with Keiichi in my previous life. In other words, a miracle is something that would normally never happen. Keiichi gave the doll to Mion. Rena spoke with her father. Shion started taking care of Satoko after remembering her promise to Satoshi. Oh yeah! That was all because they had those intentions somewhere in their heart. Satoshi was the guy that lived there before Keiichi, and he ended up dying. It was only a side of their- hold on. Only a side of their die that was engraved there already, but still, even if you couldn't call 3 dice rolling this well a miracle, it did mean good fortune.
リカが頑張ろうという強い意志を見せ
And
たので、
Shion
天の
was
神様が
in love with
祝福してい
Satoshi.
るのに違いないのです。
So she promised him she'd take care of Satoko in his
あん
stead.
たも神様じゃなかったの？
I forgot all about that. I'm glad they reminded me.
リカは僕をいじめる時だけ神様扱いしますです。冗談よ。お願いだからいじけないで。そんなわけだから。今夜はとても機嫌がいいのよ。
I lifted up the glass of orange wine and gave a toast to the moon. It looks really pink to me. It tasted like nothing but sweet orange juice. It was funny to see Hanyu making a happy face as I took a sip.
今度こそ昭和58年の死の運命から
1983, the
逃
summer
れ
of
られるので
1983,
しょ
yeah.
うか。逃れることがゴールのすごろくなのだとしたら、これほど幸先のいいスタートはもう二度とないかもしれない。
No matter how hard I tried to prevent things from happening, there were some things I could never control. It's such a huge letdown when that happens. Even after trying so hard, something renders my efforts infertile. I'd probably be wasting my time for so long because I was trying to escape from that pain. For the first time in my life, then, I've been blessed with a favorable situation. Everything seems perfect in this world. There's no reason for me to be depressed. It's like the weather is perfect and the wind is blowing in just the right way. It's suspicious. If I failed to put my ship out to sea, there was nothing to pin the blame on. It's suspiciously perfect. I understand what Hani was trying to say with a concerned look on her face. If I didn't escape my death under this fortunate situation, I'd have to accept that my fate wasn't something that could be changed. This is an ideal world where all of my friends overcame their problems. I was always in a depressed world, but this time all the pieces of the puzzle matched. If I couldn't change my fate in this world, it was proof that I couldn't change it in any world. This was the ending that I've been afraid of for a long time, the loss of hope, and the death of my soul. Of the pair of us, I was probably the only one who would die. Hanyu will most likely remain there even if my spirit disappears. She must be afraid of being alone after I lose myself. That's why she's telling me not to expect too much. I bit down on the ice chip inside my mouth. It was pleasantly cold. I like eating ice too. It's
何度
satisfying.
も繰り
Crunch,
返
crunch,
した話
crunch.
で申し訳ないんだけど、
Especially in the summer,
また付き合っ
definitely.
てほしいの。いいのですよ。どうしてリカが必ず昭和58年
Please
に殺され
explain.
るかですね。
I would also like to know.
強い意志は強い運命を生み出すということは、私が昭和58年に必ず殺されるのは相当の強い意志に基づいているということになる。おそらくそうだと思
So
います
whose
です。
will
フルでリカを殺して誰がどんな得をするのかしら。強い意志があるのですから、おそらくは明白な動機があるものと思いますです。自分で言うのも嫌だけど、フルでリカは村人みんなに好かれていると思う。
I like
一般的
Rika.
な村人に殺害動機があると
I
は
was
思
gonna
え
say,
な
no
い。
one's ever
少
disliked
なくとも
Rika.
この村に住まう人間である以上、リカに好意を抱かない
Someone
人間
has to,
は
though.
いないはずなのです。
If
あん
her
たの
theory
おかげ
is
でね。
correct.
今のは感謝の言葉よ。まあいいわ。長いこと疑ってきた園崎本家も違ったとな
Hi,
ると、
hi. Hi, Twos. How are you?
私を殺したい人間や勢力が思いつかない。むしろリカにとっては世界中のどこよりもこの村にいる。そうね。世界中のどこよりもここが安全なはずなの。私を殺そうとする人間がいるどころか、私を
It's,
守ろ
it's
うという
cozy
人間がいるはずなの。
movie time, basically. It's ironic. For a long time, I've been refusing help from all these people who are trying to keep me safe.
リカ、やはり
Someday
入
recharge,
江た
yes.
ちを頼るのはどうで
It's
す
a
か。
good recharge experience for sure. People in this village love and cherish me. But no matter what, they never saw me when I tried to escape the fate of my death. They never saved me, excuse me. I spoke to several villagers in the past, but they never believed me and none of them saved me in the end. They probably didn't believe me because I had no idea who was trying to kill me or what their motive was. If I could explain that, people might be more accepting of my story. But there's nothing I can do about that. No one would believe a little girl saying that she's going to be killed without rhyme or reason. All they think of me as is the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama and the leader of the Furude family. They do cherish me, but they won't protect me with their lives. Yes, it is. It's like psychological horror, yeah. On the other hand, Irie and his people are totally different. They realize how special I am. They would try to make sure that nothing happens to me. If I confessed to them that my life was in danger, I'm sure they would do their best to prevent it. They have all the means to protect me from a violent end. However, none of it really worked in the past. It's not that they're unreliable. It's because Takano, the one responsible for protecting me, also gets killed on the same day every year. Yep. In other words, asking her for help is completely useless. She's very reliable, but she also isn't. It's ironic that I'm the only one who knows the reason why they can never save me.
それが狙いなの
Yeah,
かしら
Tomitake and Takano always die
富
first.
武と高野を殺し
They get killed every
私を
night.
守る者を排除してそれから殺す。
確かに高野たちの死は理科の死と密接に関係する先触れなのです。
同じ運命ならいや同じ犯人が同じ目的でやっている犯行ならあの二人の死をなんとか覆すことで私の運命もまた覆せるんじゃないかしら。
理科は多分覚えていませんですが、ずいぶん前にもそう言って実行したことがありましたです。
The deaths of Takano and Tomitake mean the loss of my protection. Because the two of them die, the suspect is able to kill me. That's why I've tried to prevent their deaths somehow. But they never believed me. Nope. I tried so hard to persuade them, but they didn't listen. I eventually gave up and just thought of their deaths as fated to happen. It's the same helpless feeling I used to have towards my parents when I was able to go farther back in time. When I found out that death was inevitable, I lost interest in them. After all that time had passed, I forgot how hard I used to try to prevent my parents' deaths.
それに理科は入江たちのことは嫌ってると思いましたです。
まあね連中は明らかに私たちをモルモットだと思ってるし。
Yeah, they're trying to figure out how to cure the Hinamizawa subject. But hold on. The Hinamizawa disease, excuse me. I support them so I can help Satoko, but it disgusts me to think that they're only using me as a test subject. I've been resenting Irie for that reason. That's like, Dr. Irie's, like, whole thing, is he wants to, like, cure it. Still, I should try to get closer to him. After all, he's the only person who understands how important I am. He's the main person I should be talking to, and he has the most potential for protecting me. I can't avoid seeking help from him just because I don't like him. Yeah, you gotta make some compromises somewhere. I've asked him for help several times before, but Tomitake and Takano get murdered even so, and it ruins everything. After their deaths, Irie panics and becomes useless. That's why I gave up on seeking help from him. But in this world, I've been blessed with a positive situation. I will never have a lucky start as this again. This is the best chance I'll ever get, so I should give it my best shot. I really don't like him at all. But he's not a bad person. I should respect him more. He's serious about helping Satoko, and he's not as much of a mad scientist as I'm inclined to think. Takano is a strange person too, but she's also someone who can give me support. But she thinks I'm only her guinea pig. That's why I don't really want her help. Yeah, she's very odd. Tomitake is more reliable than Takano, but the biggest problem is that he only visits this village a few times a year. That's true. On top of that, he always dies before I get killed, so he can never help me. However, they really are the people I should be talking to. If I change the fate of their deaths, they should be able to save me from my own. It's possible that the only reason I lived until 1983 was because of their effort.
高野たちに接触して彼らを救えるようまた努力してみようと思う。
Yeah, they've never lived before.
大丈夫よ。どうせ殺されると思ってるから変に期待してない。だから期待を裏切られても全然平気よ。
理科がひどいことを言ってますのです。
I chuckled at her comment.
もし死の運命から逃れられれば私の運命に対して
So the
大
serious
きな影響を与え
Rika
てくれるの
is
は間違いない。
the true,
そして今回は
like, soul
それ
of
でも二人が
Rika.
殺さ
And
れる
then
のを前提に
Hanyu
話
is
をして
like
みようと思うの。
the
つまり
spirit living inside of her
二人が殺
that
された後
is the sweet
私にも及ぶだろ
happy-go-lucky
う
that
被
she
害への
uses
警
to
護
talk
に
to
つい
everybody
てちゃん
else.
とそういう指示を出してくれれば高野たちの死後も私の身辺は強固に警備されているかもしれない。
I actually don't know exactly. The protection they provide is probably the highest standard of security I could ask for, yet I lose that the moment Tomitaki and Takano die, so I never have their protection after Wada Nagashi. Therefore, I get killed too. In other words, that's it. Whoever possesses the strong will to kill me actually just wants me dead. Yet so long as those two are alive, there's tight security all around Hinamizawa. That prevents the killer from getting to me. So to kill me, they must first kill Tomitaki and Takano, the heart of that security. Then my protection falls away, leaving me exposed.
リズムで考えれば考えるほど、二人の運命と私の運命はつながっているのね。そうやって考えると、あの二人を見殺しにした時点で、私の運命は逃れられないものに決まってしまうのかもしれない。
ならリカのすべきことはもう明らかなのです。
そうね。自分の命より先にあの二人の命を救う方が先決ってことね。
It's kind of ironic. I gave up on them because I was more determined to save my own life. But I finally came to the conclusion that I have to help them first before helping myself. Yep. But there's something I still don't understand. There's a lot of things I don't understand. Someone with convictions this strong is trying to kill me for some equally strong motive. Yet no matter how often I debate it, I can't think of anyone who'd benefit from my death. Not only that, but there should only be people who'd want to protect me. Especially since they would do anything to protect me in the present environment. They even eliminate my mother. To be perfectly honest, I don't even care about her anymore. Well, damn. I never got along with her, and she's the one who took my father's death the wrong way, making a huge deal out of it like she did. She got what she deserved. I'm a valuable guinea pig for them, and I can be a bomb, too. No one benefits from making me explode. It's only disaster awaiting them if that happens. Lots of people will be lost, and nobody would gain anything from that. According to Takano, my death would be like the eruption of a volcano in the middle of the village. I'm not interested in what happens after my death, but they're really concerned about it. They're watching me every day to ensure that I don't accidentally hit my head on the corner of a block of tofu and die. It's fair to say that they are here in order to prevent the eruption from happening. I'd be suspicious if they were going to benefit in some way from my death. But as everyone knows, that can't possibly be the case. My death would create nothing but a disaster. They're benefiting from my being alive right now.
損得の問題ではなく、何かの怨恨かもしれないと随分思ったわよね。私個人じゃなくて、古出家に対する恨みみたいなものが伝統的に御三家とかに残ってたりして、私が爆弾だと知らないからこそ殺したと。
That's why I was suspicious of the three families, especially the Sonozaki family. Oof. However, after observing them in numerous worlds, I feel that's not the case. I felt that way in several lives, but it always had something to do with the incident with Keiichi and the doll. It's good that there's nothing going on between the Sonozaki family and mine.
あとは狂信的な何者かなのです。
Could be. Oh, my bad. My bad. I didn't read that, I'm sorry. If it's not about profit or a grudge, it might be someone who's secretly a deranged cultist. We've already had a series of murders 4 years in a row under the name of Oyashiro-sama's curse. True. Could just be a random fanatic as well. Timing-wise, it would be somewhat interesting if I, the reincarnation of Yoshiro-sama, were killed on the 5th year. I couldn't stand to be murdered for such a whimsical reason, but such a motive actually seemed fitting. Ironically, I would have to suspect Takano if that's the case. Yep, she's a huge fanatic. She's well known for being an eccentric researcher of local histories. She's only interested in this village's history because she already knows who I am. She's doing the research based on the notion that I'm important, so she should have no reason to kill me. Also, she always dies before her. She would desire to keep me close to her as a research sample. It's hard to believe that she would kill her favorite toy. She always dies before Rika, so she wouldn't be able to kill her. She might be willing to kill someone who would try to harm her little toy, though.
いくら考えても
That's a
わからないし、
possibility, you're right.
どうでもいいことかもしれないわね。誰かが私を必ず殺す。その事実から
We just
逃
know
れ
we
られ
gon'
れば
be dead.
他はとりあえずどうでもいいんだから。
No, I take that back. I want to escape my deadly fate. But I also want all of my friends to be happy. And I want the rest of my life to be happy too. That's where she kind of gets stuck. I don't want to hide myself in the forest forever just to get away from my murderer. In fact, I've tried that once before, but I still met with the same ending. Living in the forest was a horrible experience. I think I was able to survive until July that time. Oh wow. That might be the longest I ever lived. I smiled bitterly and finished off the rest of the orange wine in the glass. I'd have to talk to Irie again. God damn it. I don't like him, but it's his people are my only hope.
もういい時間ね。どこに戻らないと明日が辛いわ。
僕もそう思いますです。おやすみなさいなのですよ。
God, it feels like a good time to take a nap. I lay down and closed my eyes, but I couldn't fall asleep right away. Suddenly, I remembered Rena's words out of nowhere. It was no good when I was thinking about it on my own. True! I wasn't thinking about it on my own. I was talking to it out with Hanyu. Now I know. It's important to talk to other people. Friends have greater meaning than I thought. You can talk to them about anything. I finally realized that. After I asked Takano for help, should I also talk to Keiichi? I've told him before in my previous lives, but he never believed me then. But now he's got, like, deja vu memories of the past, so I feel like he'd be more inclined to help you if he knew what was going on. Interesting. Oh, sorry, I have a random pain in my lower back. It's starting to get old, guys. Sheesh. The two of us. Rika Furude always thought that there were 4 members in her family. She could clearly see all of us. Her father, her mother, and me. She had no idea that I was invisible to anyone else but her. My appearance is a little different from human beings. I may otherwise look like a person, but I can't hide my horns. So it's obvious that I'm not human. I'd hoped that because Rika has seen me since she was a baby, she wouldn't be bothered by my ugly horns at all. And that hope came true. Just as chicks believe whatever they see first is their parent, Rika accepted me as part of her family as a matter of course. Even though I have these horns, Rika and I have been close ever since that day she accepted me as her family member. I became closer to her than her parents. I couldn't even remember the last time I was able to communicate with someone. We spent all day together. But her family, especially her mother, denied my existence. Since her mother so strongly denied me, Rika and her mother became distant. Rika didn't learn certain things that many children learn from their mothers. That's why I taught her instead. It's kind of ironic how that made her mother resent Rika even more. Rika used to fight with her mother a lot about how she talked. I guess she picked up some bad habits from me. Besides the fact that she didn't get along with her mother, Rika was a pretty normal girl. She was just like Satoko. She loved running around in the woods and doing mischievous things. However, in June 1983, Rika's life was taken. All we want is a happy life for Rika. My power only allows us to search for the path leading to that. It's awful to repeat the same tragedy over and over again, although it's devastating. We can still find happiness within this endless world. So it's... Rika's Furude's destiny is a tragic dead end, but I'm secretly enjoying the fact that I get to spend more time with her than what normal people can enjoy. It's not just Rika. They may not see or hear me, but being with Satoko, Mion, Rena, and Keiichi is also very fun. I can never be one of them, but I can still be by their side. I'm getting a theory in my brain. So it's Hanyu's powers that, let's go ahead and save. End of chapter 3. It's Hanyu's powers that are actually allowing them to go back in time and do these timelines.
やあ、リカちゃんが日曜日以外に診療所にいらっしゃるなんて珍しいですね。
So what if unintentionally it's actually Hanyu that is causing the tragedy because she wants to spend more time with Rika and everyone else. And her going back in time, you know, constantly through these timelines allows her to spend more and more time than what she would get, you know, just going through a normal life. I feel like that sounds pretty smart. I don't know, that's just an interesting theory I just thought of in my brain, but that would be an interesting thing, because Rika can't figure out why anyone would target her, but it's like, unintentionally, it could be the strong will of Hanyu in her desire to stay in this reality as long as she can with Rika and her friends. Boom! Nailed it. Story closed. No, I'm just kidding. Probably not. I'm probably very wrong. That sounds like a really cool theory, though.
いえ、多分リサさんとデートじゃないでしょうか。いやいや、お羨ましい。
どうしてリサなのですか？よくわからない名前なのです。
Is that Tomitake?
それは本人に聞いてみてください。初対面の時のちょっとした認識ミスなんですがね。その時の先方の対応がとても面白かったもので。
God damn it. I don't get it. So what nicknames are all about, though. That's true.
どんなご用件ですか？伝言でよければ今夜ミーティングがありますから、その席上で伝えておきますよ。
ありがとうなのです。でも直接言いますのでいいのですか？
そうですか。わかりました。では、私は書類事務に戻ります。
今日は入江は診察はしていないですか？
今夜のミーティングの資料作りで大忙しです。普段から準備はしているんですがね。日々の本業に圧迫されてなかなか時間がなんて言うと準備がなってないと怒られてしまいますね。
それに加えて野球までやっているのですから。つくづく入江は元気だなと思いますです。
本当に忙しいですよ。家事や秘書を代行してくれる可愛いメイドさんを常時募集中なのですが、なかなか応募がありません。
He laughed and looked at his watch. He seemed to be in a hurry.
高野たちはどこへ行っているか想像はつきますですか？
村の中をいろいろと回るだろうと思います。ああ、でもいつも待ち合わせは神社の境内なんだそうですよ。高野さんは半ドンで帰られましたから、ひょっとするとまだ境内にいるかもしれませんね。
I looked at the clock on the wall. I must have just missed her. This is no time to be chatting with Irie. Yeah, fuck off, doctor. I got business to take care of.
神社に戻ってみ
See you
ますです。
later.
年に4度しかない仰せなんですから、あまり邪魔をしない方
Yeah,
が
I
いいと思
find
い
that
ますよ。
interesting. He only shows up 4 times a year. He smiles mischievously and waves his hand in goodbye, and yet they're dating. I don't... Or they're at least seeing each other. I don't know if they're officially dating. I headed back to the shrine. I was going to park my bike by the stairs that led to the shrine grounds. They're seeing each other in some capacity. Stoker and I are the only people who park our bikes there normally, but I saw more than 10 bikes there today. People must be gathering at the convention room. There are more and more meetings when the Wadanagashi festival draws close. Seeing all of these bikes reminds me of that summer is nearly here. Most of the bikes were old and beat up. However, I saw 2 unfamiliar ones parked there. They were sporty mountain bikes with the same design but different colors. They must belong to Takano and Tomitake. Dun dun dun. I went up to the stairs. Ah, I missed it. I was reading the Alice log. Let me see. I went up the stairs to look for the 2 of them, but I couldn't find either. Was there any place with such a good view for taking pictures? I tried looking in places like that, but I still couldn't find them. So I started looking based on what Takano might be interested in. I can only think of one place. The shrine tool place. Alice log is more important, right? I know.
ジローさん。
シンプルな
Dude
タイプ
is
だと
so
思うよ。
muscular.
道具があれば多分1分とかからないよ。
さすがね。ジローさんが得意なのは心の奥の錠前外しだけじゃない。
Oh, whoa! Wow, she's such a flirt.
たたりじゃ
I hope I am able to help you relax. Two of them jumped in surprise as I suddenly appeared in front of them.
リカちゃん、こんにちは。急に脅かすなんて人が悪いわね。
Oh yeah, I'm sure he can down 2 bowls easy. Easy.
もっと悪いのです。
ダメだよ高野さん。やっぱり悪いことはするもんじゃないよ。
Judging, Tomitake conceded right away, but Takano was stubborn. She made up excuses to try and fool me. Based on my previous lives, I knew just how much interest she had in the storehouse. I was actually rather impressed of how hard she tried to cover that up. The ritual storehouse, yep, it's full of the remainder of the dark history of Onigafuchi. It contains bloody and vicious tools that Takano is fascinated with. She should have a good idea as to what those things are inside of this storehouse based on what she's been researching. He'd making up some story about cultural treasures and such, but it was obvious that she was just making excuses. Tomitake also seemed impressed listening to Takano's phony justifications. In the past, I've tried to conceal what was hidden in the storehouse from Takano because I don't want her spreading information about the holy and brutal traditions they have in Onigafuchi village. It would be a disgrace. As a member of the Furude family, I can't let that happen. Looking at the history of Onigafuchi and the way Takano does is a painful thing for Hanyu as well. For Hanyu, the ritual storehouse is a special place. I don't know what's so nice about being surrounded by the scary old ritual tools, but she feels cozy when she's surrounded by the smell of old times. Yeah, she's pretty weird. This storage is like Hanyu's hideout. When I can't see her, she's usually relaxing in here. I don't want Hanyu's happy place to be turned into the bloody, horrifying den of evil Takano believes it to be. That's why I've been keeping Takano away from the ritual storehouse. Come to think of it, why am I so mean to her? Is it because I hate her? I should stop feeling that way. I have to keep in close contact with Takano and Tomitake. I wouldn't give up just because it didn't work before. I'm going to try one more time. One more time! Sword is different from the other ones. I might be able to change their fate, which in turn might change my own.
Hanyu, 高野に最具殿の中を見せてあげようと思うの。
Hanyu made an irritated face. Takano will lose herself in ecstasy if she sees what's inside of there. She'll run around spreading rumors of the bloody history of Onigafuchi. Hanyu wasn't too excited about that prospect.
高野にごまをするわけじゃない。
Oh, curry.
でも
Curry sounds good.
話を聞いてもら
I know
う
that's
きっ
not
か
the way
け
she
には
meant
な
it,
るん
but
じゃないかと思うの。
love
高
me
野
some
は
good
根に
curry.
持つから。
Sweet
ここで意
curry.
地悪
I
を
don't
する
like
と
spicy curry.
私の話をちゃ
I
んと
make
聞
like
いてくれない
a
かも
apple
しれな
honey
い。
curry. It's so good. I need to make it again. I understand that Hanyu doesn't want her inside this holy place, but she can't do anything more than be irritated about it. I'm the only one who can make the ultimate decision. Besides, she'll forgive me if I promise to eat something sweet later.
高野、もしも約束を守ってくれるのでしたら、中に入れてあげてもいいのですよ。
本当に
I mean, she got real serious all of a sudden. I was gonna say Tomitake. I think he's like a former army
本当です
or
よ。
military man because of the dog tags and stuff. So that's why he's like so muscular. But he's a photographer
最後殿
now.
ってここよ。この建物の中なの
He's a
よ。
retired military man.
別にごまかす気はありませんですよ。ちゃんとこの中に入れてあげますです。ニパー。
Oh.
にパ
Oh, that's actually really cute. I've never seen such a big smile on her face before. Now this is a miracle. I'm seeing this face for the first time in 100 years. 100 years, that's how long she's been doing this. I can't talk now. Oh, that's so funny. Tomitake must be feeling the same way. His image of Takano was slowly falling apart as we spoke, I'm sure. No, maybe he just found a new side of her to love instead.
高野って結構面白い人だったので
That's so cute to hear her say it.
やっぱり
Oh.
コミュニケーションって大事
Yeah,
ね
you gotta
人を知るのって
you gotta strengthen the
つくづく
bonds, you
難し
know?
いと思い知るわ
So we don't all kill each other. You remain there and watch Takano spinning in delight for a while.
中には内緒で入れるのですから他の
Yeah,
人に
before
見つ
she
かっ
would
てはい
always
けま
sneak
せん
her way
ですよ
inside, regardless of what Rika or
そうだよね。
anyone else told
高野
her
さんを正気に戻しておくよ。
that it was off limits. She
僕
would
はその
break
間
in
に
there
鍵
herself.
を持ってきますです
Maybe that's the difference, you know? Makes all the difference to just invite her aside, but like, by the time I came back with the key, Takano was totally calm again. She was obviously trying to hide how gleeful she was, though. I thought she was a mature lady, but she might still be a kid at heart. I think they called that something like gap moe. I picked that term up at some point from Keiichi, but I'm still not sure how it's used.
では高野
Well then,
富武
Takano and
中に入る
Tomitake.
前にいくつか約束がありますです
Over
ちゃんと誓ってくれないと
wrecking a bunch of other
ダメなのです
I mean, I'm not sure exactly what part you're talking about,
開かずの
but
細
there's
部
like
弁をフルデケ当主
little
が
girls
自ら
and
開けてくれる金を
like
犯すのだもの
teenage
約束
younger
は守る
girls. So, and there's a lot of depth between all of them, so
ダメだよ高野さん。ちゃんと真面目にやらなきゃ。
失礼ね私はとても
this is also the answer arcs as well. Most of the like tragedy, bloody shit is in the first 4 chapters, which we've already finished.
私
This
も
is
よ
trying to like
高野の株価が
solve the
世界恐慌
mysteries,
で
you
大暴
know.
落って感じ
So it's more of like a retrospective thing. Rena said it before, it's not a good idea to think about problems all on your own. I always hated the crazy part of Takano and I didn't want to be close to her. But I never thought she could act this way. She was acting almost like Rena does when in her cute mode. Had I known that she was a funny person as this, I wouldn't have felt resentment towards her. I realized how important communicating can be. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta
ま
learn
ずサ
new
イトデー
things
に
about
入
people.
ったこと
People
は
will show you
内
different
緒なの
sides
で
to
すよ
themselves
誰にも
if
教
you
えて
show
はい
them,
けませ
you
んで
know,
す
that they can trust you
もちろんよ
and you're kind to
誓う
them.
わ
Takano put her hands to her chest. Imagine that, right? Imagine human bonding. She also formed Tomitake to do the same. It was funny to watch Tomitake trying to keep up with Takano too.
中はとても大切な場所ですから怪我したり
He's
傷つ
actually
けた
a
りしちゃダ
really
メ
a
なので
sweetheart.
す
I actually feel like his love is wasted on her.
それで撮影は可能なの
She's sweet, but she's also like a little
可能です
nuts.
が
She's like a religious
1枚100円
fanatic
なのですよ
researcher.
次郎さんあなた今いくら持ってるかしら
1万円払うと
How is
お得な
how
1
is
日
human
取
bonding
り
and
放
booze
題券にな
similar?
りますです
I mean, to Melisma it is for sure.
払うわ次郎さん
They pay me the money for real. Oh, they actually paid her. Well, you seemed excited knowing that the money could be used for buying desserts. Oh, she likes her sweets. Oh, she's so
とて
cute.
もいい人なのです
あんたも現金ね
I like my sweets too. I finally got approval from Oyashiro-sama, the master of the storehouse. I love cake. We'd have no more problems now. I've had such an obsession with cake lately. The ritual storehouse is behind the building with the convention room. Sometimes people come out for a cigarette break. I can't let anybody see us entering.
大丈夫。誰もいないよ。
Tomitake checked out the scene and gave me the signal to go ahead. Go, go, go! I nodded him and unlocked the door. I pushed open the heavy door just far enough for us to sneak inside.
富武が表で待っていると不
Yeah,
審
you
に
gotta
思
come
われ
with
ま
us,
すで
buddy.
す
Come on, be brave.
え
You're a military man. Come on, you can do it.
僕も入るのかい
I think he's seemed surprised I was asking him to come inside with us. Tomitake, of course, wasn't particularly interested in what was inside the storehouse. I expected his surprised reaction. Yes!
次郎さん
That is our first order of business when we become official roomies. You have to have a
早
tea
く入
party.
って
100%. Like, I will buy a whole tea set if I have to. Tomitake squeezed inside as Takano urged him. I turned the light on and closed the door. Then I put the chain on from the inside. No, you can't escape. I have you right where I want you. No, I'm
厳
just
重
kidding.
なのね
錠前が外れていることに気づいた悪い猫さんが入ってくると困りますのです。
悪い猫さんで申し訳ないわね。
I don't care. I mean, if we can get a really nice,
猫は
cute,
猫らしく
like
ニャーニャー鳴か
outdoor,
ないとダメなのですよ。
like table and chair set, that would be cool. But I mean, I don't even care if we just do it at
そ
the
れはど
dining
ういうこ
table.
とかしら。
高野がちゃんと
Doesn't matter to
猫さ
me.
んじゃないと見せてあげないのです。ちゃんと鈴付き首輪と猫耳も持ってきましたですよ。あれをつけて四つん這いになってニャーニャー言ってくれなかったら
That's so
次の扉を
cute.
開けてあげませんです。
The shrine storehouse has 2 doors so that people can't see inside when the first door is open. At the moment, we were inside the entry chamber. The real storehouse is in the room beyond.
えリカちゃんもきついな。
He actually is like kind of scared of sight. What is it called?
それが試練ならやるわ。
The spooky spiritual stuff.
これはリカちゃん
I
が
can't think of the word
私
right
の
now.
知的探求心が
Brain
どれ
fart.
だけ一途で高貴か試しているのよ。いいわ。
Yes.
あなたが望むなら猫耳と尻尾付きで四つ
Not
ん
the
這いになって
bloomers.
前足で顔を
Not
洗
the
いなが
empty
ら
milk bowl.
ご主人様大好きだにゃ。
No, don't say it like that. No, don't say it like that.
高
No,
野って
don't do it.
みんなと同じくらいの年だったらきっと部活メンバーに混じっていたと
Takano,
思いますの
no.
です。
そうね。
No, not spiritual.
世界恐慌
It's like the
の時
scary
ウォール街で紙切れになってた
paranormal. That's the word.
雪のように舞ったと言うじゃない。
Wow.
なんかそういう
Why did that
感じ
take so hard for my brain to
高野
remember?
の株。
He doesn't really like the paranormal
Sa-
stuff. I think it actually
やり
kind
遂
of
げて
scares
みせる
him.
わよ。
But Takano is obsessed, so he like deals with it because of her.
高野さん、そもそもこ
Man,
の扉
the things you do for
鍵
pretty
なんか
girls,
ない
right?
よ。ほら、押せば
Go
開
into a
く。
ritual storehouse of demonic tools that murdered and chopped up
あ
people.
ら嫌だ。私ったらみっともない。
She's like scary to me. She freaks me out. Tomitake has no sense of humor. He just turned off a lot of viewers and we're looking forward to seeing Takano in the cat outfit.
冗談はこのくらいにして押せば開きますのです。ニパー。
Nipa! Once we went through the door, we found ourselves inside the storage area. There were no windows in there, so it was completely dark, even during the day. There were several light bulbs hanging from the ceiling, but they were dim, and their light only exaggerated. Oh my god, I can't read. Hold on. And their light only exaggerated the darkness inside. Oyashirasuma's statue and the altar dominated the center of the room. They were surrounded by tons of ancient torture implements. Yep. They were all over the floor, walls, ceilings. It looked like a torture room rather than just a storage for tools intended for one. Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
すごいね。
Tomitake was rendered speechless. They were nothing like those fake torture implements they might have seen in a wax museum or someplace like that. The tools in this room are the genuine articles. I never liked to think about it, but I'm sure some of them really were used. These authentic tools always have a big impact on the people who see them. But Tomitake was the only one who was shocked, since he was the only normal person in the room. That's not... Takano is definitely not normal. Takano's eyes were sparkling. She was taking pictures while meowing like a cat. This place isn't special to me. Of course, I know I'm supposed to treat it like a holy place, but I'm so used to seeing all these things after coming here countless times since I was little. To me, it's nothing but a storehouse with a lot of old stuff inside. As for Hanyu, she says it's the only place the air from times past lingers in the present day, so she actually finds it comforting. I get in a good mood when I come here because Hanyu gets in a good mood. This is a relaxing place for her. As I watched Tomitake's reaction, I noticed how totally off my values are from normal people's. Takano's reaction seemed more natural to me in a sense. Hanyu seemed to be bothered by Tomitake's reaction too. Maybe it was a bad idea to let him come inside after all. You're messing with the vibes, bro. Not like I could kick him out at this point. That would be more suspicious. Hanyu and I sat on a cushion in front of the altar and watched Takano dance with childish glee while Tomitake made, what did he say?
どうしてこんなにもたくさんの拷問道具を作ったんだろうね。
Dude is determined. I'll give him that. The house. Yes, all the tea parties. Yes, we're gonna be the roomies.
だって拷問というのは相手を屈服させるのが目的じゃないのかい？こんなにいくつもおびただしい数や種類がどうして必要だったんだろ
う。次郎さん、拷問道具には2つの脅し方があるのを知っているかしら。1つは使用して相手を痛めつけることで効果を発揮するもの。もう一つは使用するぞ、使用したらものすごい痛いぞと脅迫するためのもの。I would venture to say there's a third そういう意味ではいろいろ物騒な拷問道具が
third option, and that's to explain what each one does.
それだけで脅迫的意味を持つものだ
That's
ったの
also
よ。
terrifying.
確かに拷問というのは実は高度な技術が必要だ
I mean, if you
というような
want the
話は
cuts
聞
to
いたこ
be
とがあるよ。程よく痛めつけ
precision,
て
I
か
guess.
つ殺さないというのは確かに加減が難しいことかもしれないね。
Tomitake's acting like he's having a conversation with Takano, but his voice was obviously
西洋の拷
unsteady.
問道具
Yeah,
の
he
中
don't
に
like it.
やたらと装飾
It's not for
実
him.
際に使用すれば
But he
痛め
likes,
つける以前にあっさりと殺してしまいかねない。
but he does like taking photographs
拷
of
問
like
道具としては構造
historical
欠陥のあるものが
things,
少
so
な
it's
くないの
kind
よ。
of
まあ
something he likes, but he doesn't really like the
服を
whole
目的とする
paranormal.
被験者を対象にした純粋な拷問道具と見せしめや娯楽を目的とする観覧車を対象にした虐殺道具に分かれるんだけど、これを混同して誤解している人が多いのが嘆かわしいわね。
Oh my god.
じゃあ話を戻すけど、これらの拷問道具で昔の人たちは何を屈服させようとしていたんだい？
Komitake asked me that. He must have thought that Takano would say something far more scary if I asked her. He's forgetting that I'm just a little innocent girl.
I'm just a little innocent nipa.
鬼ヶ淵村の独自の戒律を厳重に守らせるためだった
Sorry, I made a spot over you.
と思ってるんだけど、正解？
正解なのです。
Yeah.
これらの細具は実際に使用するためでなく、むしろ
well, that's
展
nice
示
to
して
know.
村人を怖がらせて戒律を遵守させることを
So
主
it
眼
was
に
more
置
of
い
a
たもの
scare
だと言われ
tactic.
てますです。だか
I
ら
see.
実際にこれらの道具を使う時になってサイズが合わなかったり構造的に欠陥があっ
Well,
た
that
り
just
で
makes it worse.
満足に使用できなかったという話も結構残っていますのです。
でも実際に使用することもあったんだろう。やっぱり穏便な話じゃないね。
戒律を守らないとお社様のたたりがあるだけではおとなしくルールに従ってくれない人たちもたまにはいたということなのです。
ねえリカちゃん、ではこれらの道具は基本的に村人を威圧するために用意されているのかしら？本当の意味での綿流しの時、食人の宴に使った調理解体道具だっていう説があるんだけど。
She didn't want to remember the dark history of Onigafuchi village. People performed countless torture ceremonies in front of her, claiming that they were doing it in her name, the name of Oyashiro-sama. She asked them not to do that, but no one was able to hear or see that.
ノーコメントなのですよ。
No comments, Nipa.
高野さんによく僕も聞かされるよ。大昔の鬼ヶ淵村の人たちは神様のお告げがあると麓に降りて人をさらって食べてしまったんだろう。どうしてそんなことをしたんだろう。これもまた麓の人々に対する何かの見せしめなのかい？
私はそこはおそらく食物連鎖で人間よりも優位にあることを自覚するためにやった一種の儀式だと思っているわ。鬼ヶ淵村が外部との交流を禁ずる最大の建前が、自分たちは1000人で村は聖地。
No comment, Nipa. That's gonna be my favorite response to people now.
汚らわしい人間と交流すると汚れを持ち込む、 そういうふうに言われていた。だから定期的に自分たちは人間以上の存在であることを自覚し直す必要があったんじゃないかしら。
日本にも晒し首があったしね。見せしめは非人道的ではあるけど抑止効果は極めて大だったというわけだ。
見せしめの犠牲者がひどい方法で拷問されて生きながら食われて絶命する、そんなのを見せつけられたら。
Ew. Not the cannibalism.
絶対に自分はああされたくないって誰もが思うわよね。日本には晒し首だけでなく貼り付けだってあったでしょ。処刑場に高々と死刑囚を貼り付けにして観衆の前で恥ずかしめられながら長槍でブスブスと刺されるのよ。二郎さんもわかると思うけど、槍でほんの一つparanormal, supernatural, like old 人は絶命なんてできない。腹部や胸部を貫かれればそれは十分に致死的なことではあるけれど、ギロチンなんかのようにきれいさっぱり死ねるわけじゃないのよ。血がブクブクと溢れ出し、腹からは腸を引きずり出されて肺に血がたまり、最後には自らの血で溺れ死ぬ。そんな緩慢な死を思えば
She's so gross.
人道的な発明よね。そうそう、知ってる
？What bothers me is that she says all this stuff like with excitement, like she's a little kid eating candy. I'm like, that's not, no, this is not happy shit. No.
すっぱりと死ねるように生み出した。死の際まで特別扱いしてもらえる貴族のための処刑道具。フランス革命末期の恋愛を描いたなんとか物語っていう白黒映画があるんだけど、ラストのギロチンシーンは圧巻よ。観衆の嘲笑を浴びながら数珠つなぎの貴族たちが一列に並ばされて次々と一台のギロチンで処刑されていくの。ちょん。はい、次。ちょん。はい、次。
How many did they do that?
ちょん。人間の死がわずか一瞬でベルトコンベヤーの上の工場生産のように量産されて、神父のお祈りも最後に言い残す言葉も何もなしよ。ちょん。はい、次。
You didn't have to say it again. Stop. Stop.
もうそんな一瞬の死じゃ見せ物にならないからね。
It's not entertaining to you? Okay. I see what you're like. It's what you do in your free time. Mm-hmm.
何十人もの貴族が
Watch,
長ネギをスライサーで削っていくみたいに手際よく
She watches the murder documentaries of like
そのちょんちょんの連続性を
with the super gritty details.
それに比べたら一人の人間をじっくりいじめ殺す方がよっぽど個人を尊重しているとは思わない？
See, she's fucking creepy.
そんな濃密な死と拷問で飾り立てられたのがこのお社様という存在なわけ。
Takano raises her hand to honor the statue of Oyashiro-sama.
お社様という存在は結局人間が生み出した偶像なの。その偶像は恐怖で祭り上げられることで神聖化した。そう、人が法則や戒律で石垣を組み上げ、呪いやたたり、奇跡や恐怖の漆喰でそれを固める。それらを積み上げて積み上げて、
Did you write an essay about what you were going to talk about in here?
その上に
Because my god,
神という存在なの。神は
you're like on 4 pages now, girl, of a monologue.
人の手による存在。つまり人が人を恐怖で支配しようと思った時
This is
に
what I'm
生まれ
talking
る
about when she's a psycho crazy bitch. She is obsessed.
それが
Like, this is like giddy child, like, as I said, like, giddy child eating candy. But she's like this about paranormal, like, death and blood and guts and... Yeah, it's weird. She's fucking weird. See, if I was Tomitake, I would have left by now. I would have said, bye, you crazy bitch, and I would have just ran out the door. As I looked back, Hanya was jumping up and down with her eyes full of tears. Oh. Oh. She was stomping the floor as hard as she could, making a loud noise instead of screaming out with her unheard voice. However, it all amounted to the same thing. Hanya cannot be heard by people. Oh! In the original... In the original, first chapter, I believe, you would hear, like, footsteps or, like, the laughing or something like that. I think that was Hanyu trying to speak up. She's like a descendant of Oyashiro, and she's like part demon, so that's why she has the warrant. But she's a good demon, look at her, little baby. Yeah, she's a bully, fuck her. Lock her in here, throw away the key. I'm just kidding. I genuinely don't think she's a bad person. She just got a few screw looses, for sure. She not right. She not all there. Tomitake had heard the noise that Hanyu made. He pressed his finger in front of his lips and told Takano to be quiet. That's one of my favorite songs. It's such a pretty little tune.
子供が遊んでいるのかもしれない。
そう。私には何の気配も感じないけれど。
いや、確かに聞こえたよ。高野さん、ここへはお忍びで入れてもらってるんだ。リカちゃんの立場にも配慮して、もう少し静かに見学しないと悪いよ。
Takano seemed disappointed, but Tomitake was right. She had no choice but to be quiet.
Tomitake? 周りに子供なんていませんですよ。
そうかい？リカちゃんには聞こえなかったかい？僕は確かに飛び跳ねるような音を聞いたんだけどな。
もちろん。
If there's a strong enough will, she said.
遠くではなく、僕のすぐ後ろでドタンドタン跳ねていましたです。富武には遠くに聞こえたでしょうが、僕にはすぐ後ろだったので。うるさいくらいでしたですよ。
I was standing in front of the altar and the statue of Oshiro-sama was right behind me. Tomitake seemed freaked out after hearing what I just told him. Although he was trying to fake a smile, his face was turning pale. Yeah, I would have left forever ago if I was that guy. Takano didn't seem scared at all.
西宮殿の中でお社様を怒らせるようなことを言うのは禁止なのです。
Yeah,
お社様がとても怒っていますのです。その声が聞こえませんか?
It's fortunate that she can't, to be honest. Even if she heard it, it would be nothing but tears. My job as a shrine maiden to begin with is to tell human what Oyashiro-sama is feeling. I'm responsible for speaking on Hanyu's behalf. Takano must have realized I was very serious about what I just said. She apologized to me right away.
ごめんなさい。いささか調子に乗りすぎたわ。
Yeah, you did.
お社様もごめんなさい。人が崇めればそれは神。たとえ私が崇めなくても神聖は侵されない。面白半分に冒涜したことを謝るわ。
That's actually very kind of
お社
her.
様は甘いものが大好きなのです。僕を経由してお供えしないとたたりがありますですよ。
Tomitake couldn't help but smile. Takano also smiled. She bowed to me, promising to bring over some cream puffs. Oh, cream puffs! I love cream puffs! Takano finally stopped saying bad things about Oyashiro-sama. She also promised to bring me something sweet. Hanya was still upset, but she was probably satisfied for the moment. But I didn't know what she meant by the 3 fingers she was showing to me. Was she telling me to ask Takano for that too? Being her shrine maiden is not an easy thing.
お社様はシュークリームは最低でも3つ欲しいと言ってますですよ。僕が食べたいわけではないので誤解しないでほしいのです。
They took it as a joke I made to reduce the tension. Tomitaki and Takano cracked up, holding their stomachs. Hanya was looking at them with surprise, not knowing why they were laughing. My face, meanwhile, was turning red with embarrassment.
わかったわ。お社様のために美味しいシュークリームを3つ買ってくるわね。
I was gonna say something about what Takano said. If more people would actually, like, think like what she said up here, hold on. I'm sorry, you are a god as long as people worship you. Even though I may not worship you, you are still holy. I'm sorry for disrespecting you. This is how people need to take other people's, like, ways of life and religion right here. You need to be, like, even if you don't believe it, they believe it, and it's important to them, and you need to respect that. You know, like, it's something that happens a lot. Like, people get really high and mighty about their religion, and they're like, oh, well, this is the only religion that exists, and I'm like, there's, like, literally dozens of religions out there, like, and everybody believes different things, and different things satisfy different people, so, like, just be respectful, like, just be respectful of other people's ways of life, and not be a dick, basically, which I'm surprised that came from Takano, but, you know, this weird-ass bitch. That's the lesson and the message for today, I guess.
リカちゃんやさとこちゃんの分もいくつか買った方がいいのかしら？
いえ、僕の分はいいのです。その代わり、どうしても聞いてもらいたい話がありますのです。
何かしら？今日は西宮殿に入れてもらえるというわがままを聞いてもらえたんだから。
Oh,
それに見合う
well,
わがまま
that's so
には
nice of
答える
her.
つもりよ。
That's the
僕が
ticket
今
right
から
there.
話すことを絶対に信じてほし
You
いの
gotta
です。
get on their
ど
good
う
side,
し
and
て
then they'll
とか、そんなバカな
then
と
they'll
かは
do
なし
other
なの
things
です。
for you.
だから絶対に信じて運命に打ち勝って
Yeah, don't ask for details. You're not gonna believe me. You're not gonna believe that I've lived over 100 years. Both of them are surprised to see such a serious look on my face. I was sure they'd be surprised. After all, I was about to explain to them that they were going to die in 2 days. Yep, I'm sure they'd want to deny that. But I knew a fair bit about their deaths. And they always die in a similar way. If I explained to them in detail, they wouldn't be able to laugh it off. I talked to them about it several times in previous lives, but they never took it seriously. I only had the slight possibility that they might believe me. Hopefully the possibility is as small as a miracle. It should be engraved on the side of a die. My friends overcame their fates and they all rolled a 6. Should I call that a miracle? Please, God, let me roll a 6 again. Please let them believe their death is upon them. Damn. That's a weird thing to wish for, but if you, like, are prepared that it's going to happen, then you can take steps to counteract to keep it from happening, question mark. Irie turned on the light as soon as he finished his presentation. There were about 8 men wearing lab coats inside the meeting room. The man sitting at the far end was the only person without me. Upon seeing Irie finish his speech, he clapped his hands several times. Having noticed his applause, the other men in the room soon followed suit.
それはよかった。
Oh, look at him in this fancy suit.
この度の成果
Aw,
は
so
個人的に
professional.
もとても満足できるところです。
Wow.
入江先生の献身的努力の賜物ですわ。
And she still looks creepy.
いえいえ、優秀なスタッフの協力があればこそです。すべてのスタッフに
But less creepy now that
感謝
she's
しま
not
す。
talking about, you know,
これで
ritualistic
完全治療の
murder
目
and
処が立ったと言え
sacrifices.
るでしょう。まだいくつかの詰めは残っておりますが、それは時間と予算が解決する問題です。
それにつきましてはよろしくお願いいたします。しかるべき人員と予算があれば、おそらく3年以内、61年度までには完全な医療体制を確立できると思います。今後の課題は、専門知識のない医療機関でも容易に対応できるパッケージ的な治療方法の確立と、 より安価で簡易な検査法の確立です。
検査法に関しては現在入江先生が血液採取から潜在患者を発見する方法を研究中です。この方法が確立すれば一般的な健康診断と併用できますので、相当の低コスト化を実現できると思われます。
それは素晴らしい。現在の検査法はだいぶ大掛かりで高コストですからね。いや、コストにまでお気遣いいただき本当に感謝します。国民の健康はすなわち国益のはず。それに予算問題を出すのは本当に情けないことなのですが、削れるなら1円でも安くというのが当方の立場なのです。
もちろん理解しています。治療法は確立したがコスト的に不可能では。絵に描いた餅ですから、机上の空論でなく実行可能な方法で考えるのも我々の仕事です。
My cutesy ass Hello Kitty
あなたは
sweatshirt
医師として
talking about
優秀なだけでなく、
murder and death.
本当に尊敬できる人格者です。
It has strawberries on it. Strawberries.
Okay, I'm a little warmer now. My hands are cold.
あなたとお会いできたことを誇りに思います。
Pretty.
いえ、本当に拍手をいただくのは全ての方を治療できて、いわゆるお社様のたたりを完全に撲滅できた時です。それまでどうか連帯
I
し
have a
て
Kuromi
頑張っ
sweatshirt
てい
as
けた
well,
らと
but well,
思っ
it's
てお
more
りま
like a
す。
sweater. Unfortunately, it doesn't
こちら
have a
こそ
hood on it, but
私も
it's
入江
it's
所
still
長の
very
要求す
comfy.
る予算が限りなく額面通りになるよう努力します。どうか引き続きよろしくお願いいたします。
Tomitagi and Irie shook hands, and the meeting room was filled with applause yet again.
では
Yay,
今夜の
everybody's
ミーティン
getting
グはこれまでといたしま
along.
しょう。
We
明
love
日
to
は
see it.
皆さんもお待ちかねのメインイベント、予算ヒアリングです。各自奮闘しましょう。
Takano was being sarcastic, of course. The staff members in lab coats were smiling bitterly.
いや、必要な予算なら私も最大限配慮します。私は本当は皆さんの味方になってあげたいくらいなんですよ。ですが上に説明するのも直接怒られるのも僕ですのでね。申し訳ございませんが、しぶしぶ厳格に審査させていただきます。どうかご協力をよろしくお願いいたします。
それが富武さんのお仕事ですからやむを得ません。どうか明日はよろしくお願いいたします。では本日はこれで解散といたします。
Once Irie declared the meeting over, his white-coated staff gathered up their documents and left after glancing at the clock. It was almost midnight. The staff who were off tomorrow might be alright, but those scheduled to work needed to sleep soon or it would hinder them the next day. Takano gathered up the butts from the ashtrays as well as the empty coffee cans.
あら、コーヒーを飲まない人もいるのね。せっかく会議用に認めさせたコーヒー代なんだから、ちゃんと飲んでくれないとこの分まで予算が切られちゃうのかしら。
ひどいな。僕も仕事でいやいややってるんだよ。
ああ、高野さん、そのコーヒー1本もらえます？
じゃあ僕ももらいます。すべて飲み切った方が予算請求には都合がいいでしょうから。
Two of them seemed more relaxed with the other staff members gone. Tomitagi and Irie loosened their collars in a sigh of relief.
リカちゃんとサトコちゃんたちはお元気ですか？先週聞いた話ではサトコちゃんの検査結果が一時期良くなかったように聞きましたが。
あれは取り越し苦労のようでした。急に暑くなりましたからね。体がびっくりしてしまったんでしょう。最新の検査結果では非常に安定した状態に戻っています。
入江先生はさとこちゃんには特に
Yeah,
熱
that's
心で
also
すから
really
ね。
creepy.
そんなことはありませんよ。医師たるもの、すべての病める者には公平に全力を尽くします。そして私に感謝してメイドさんになってくれればなお素晴らしいのですが、いやはやなかなかそうはなりませんね。
さとこちゃんを完全に治療できる方法があれば本当に素晴らしいのですが、それはやはり難しそうですか？
さとこちゃんのように一度でもレベル5に至った場合、幻覚症状の再現、いわゆるフラッシュバックに近い現象が起こりやすくなります。これは厳密には病気によるものではなく、精神の中に育まれる正常な防衛反応なんです。厚物に懲りてナマスを吹くということわざにもあるように、過去の経験を積極的に生かそうとする正常な反応なんです。
つまり一言で言えば心的外傷のことよ。
PTSD, emotional trauma, yeah.
前頭葉に直接ダメージを受けていることが考えられるので、一般的な心的外傷よりもずっと繊細なカウンセリングと長期の投薬が必要でしょう。
病気は治療できても心の傷は治せないということかい？
心的外傷に苦しむ人は社会にも大勢いる。その中の一人に混じれるだけでも、かつてのさとこちゃんの症状を思えば奇跡的な回復なんだしね。
You can't cure mental illness, but you can help it.
不治の
Like,
病
it's
が
never
あって
gonna
も
100% go
症状を抑え
away.
て元
But
気
they
に生
manage
活されている方も大勢います。
さとこちゃんは今でも日に3度の注射を
3 shots a
だいぶ調
day.
子が落ち着いてきましたので、
I would
今は
cry.
日
I
に
hate
2度です。
needles.
3度に比べればだいぶ負担は軽くなったと思います。
最初はだいぶ嫌がったんだけどね、リカちゃんがうまくごまかしてくれてるみたいよ。
ごまかして？
さとこちゃんは生活資金の援助を受ける代償として私の研究に協力してもらっているということになっています。
では日に2度の注射は自分の病気のためでなく入江先生の研究の協力のためにやっているつもりなんですか？
次郎さん、さとこちゃんに自分がどういう病気にかかっているのかを説明することはとても残酷な意味を持つのよ。前に話さなかったかしら？
ああ、いや。
You've not really been explained what the illness is.
無神経なことを言って申し訳ない。
富武さんもどこかでさとこちゃんに会ったら優しくしてあげてください。
そうですね。わかりました。
リカちゃんは本当に強い人ですね。さとこちゃんと同じような境遇のはずなのに、あれだけしっかりと生活できるんですから。
すべてリカちゃんと
Oh, she's a
お亡くなりになられ
completely
たご両
different
親のおかげですね。
background.
多大なる理解と
I
協
mean,
力が
her
なけれ
original
ば
upbringing is
これだ
like
け
the
の短
same,
期
but
間で
the
は
fact that
治療の
she's,
糸口は見つけられなかったでしょう。
attached to a god and
人
has
道的で
been
ない実験にもよ
through
く耐え
like
てくれ
over
ました。
100
ご両親の死をも乗り越
reincarnations
えて
of
くれた
timelines,
彼
time
女の協
loops.
力なくして今日の
I'd
成
say
果はあ
their
りえません。
circumstances are a little
なんとか
different.
その恩に報いてあげたいものです。
そうですね。東京も
But they
リ
don't
カ
know
ちゃん
that.
とさと
So.
こちゃんが最大の功労者であることは理解しています。必ずや2人の協力に見合う感謝を示すでしょう。
あらあら、私たちにはコーヒーフィルター代まで渋るのに気前がいいのね。
だからそれをいじめないでほしいな。昨年の話は高野さんに根を持たれっぱなしだよ。
でも私たち大人は彼女たちの協力に結局お金でしか報いれないのね。心で報いる方法があればいいのに。
Takano muttered like she's talking to herself, but it almost sounded as if she was talking to
きっ
them.
と心で報いる方法は日常の中にたくさんあります。それらを一つ一つ積み重ねていくことでいろいろな形でお返しができると思います。
入江先生は、いえ、監督は日々そうしておられるようですわね。私もあの子たちに何か親切でもするようにしてあげないと。
そうだよ。高野さんはそれでなくとも 今日大きな恩をリカちゃんに受けたじゃないか。
いけない。明日の朝一でフィルムを現像に出さないと。本当に貴重な体験だったわ。歴史、文化、その息吹、本当に素晴らしい時間だったわ。
そうだ、高野さん。今日の最後にされたリカちゃんのあのお願いだけど、どう思う？
被害妄想だと思いたいけれど、本人だって明確な証拠は示せないって言ったわけだし。
何かあったんですか？話だけを聞いているとリカちゃんに良くない兆候が出たように聞こえますが。
先週のリカちゃんの検査結果、私は極めて安定した良好な結果だったと思っているのですが、入江先生から見て何か変わった所見は見受けられましたか？
いいえ、今回もとても安定した結果でしたよ。聡子ちゃんの検査結果が日本海の荒波だと例えるなら、リカちゃんは琵琶湖の水面のような感じです。二人の気象そのものですね。
急性発症の可能性は？
一体何事ですか？まさかリカちゃんに症状の進行が見られるというのですか？
実は今日彼女から私たちに依頼があったんですわ。自分の命が狙われているように思うので、身辺警護の強化を依頼したいと。
そんなバカな一体誰が彼女の命を狙おうなどと言うんですか？考えられない。
リカちゃんは村中から愛されてるマスコットで、殺したいほど憎む人がいるなんて聞いたこともない。僕も正直眉唾だとは思っています。
リカちゃんは自分の命が脅かされている根拠を何だと言っていますか？追跡妄想や被害妄想の類だとしたら、確かにレベル5の初期症状と言えなくもありませんね。
夢で見たと。そういう悪夢にうなされてとても怖い思いをしたので、落ち着くまで身辺護衛を頼みたいと言うんです。
あのくらいの年の子なら夢見が悪くて怖くなってしまうこともたまにはあるかもしれない。でも僕たちの立場上、それが単なる悪夢なのか初期症状なのかは慎重に判断する必要があるだろうね。
わかりました。明日彼女には緊急検査を実施しましょう。問題がないことを祈ります。今のこの村で彼女より大切な人間は存在しないのですから。
何も問題がなければいいんだけどね。でももしそうだったとしたらどうしようね。
次郎さん、リカちゃんはあれだけのものを私たちに見せてくれて、その見返りがあのお願いなのだとしたら、とてもささやかなものだとは思わない？身辺に不安を感じるという訴えをしてくれたんだから、私たちはそれに応えてこそ信頼関係だと思うの。これがお金でなく心で報いるということじゃないのかしら。
そうですね。仮に訴えが彼女の言うように夢見のせいだったとしても、それに応えなければ私たちは彼女の信頼を失うでしょう。幸運ではありませんか？彼女に恩返しをする方法が一つ見つかったわけですからね。
確かにおっしゃる通りです。それに彼女の訴えは私たちが当初から保証しているはずの権利でもあります。
それでなくても私たちは彼女の安全を徹底的に守らなければならない。
その通りです。それについては私ではなく皆さんの仕事ですね。どうかよろしくお願いいたします。
わかりました。では高野さんの権限内でお願いします。東京から番犬を派遣するレベルでもないでしょ
う。フルでリカが夢にうなされたので派遣をお願いしますなんて言えませんものね。了解しました。山犬に最低4名の24時間警護を命じます。
それはすごいな。私が上京する時の警護より厳重です。
リカちゃんにはそれだけの恩を受けちゃったんですもの。そりゃあもうすごい警護をつけるわよ。リカちゃんの暗殺を企むような奴らは絶対阻止。山犬の再生鋭を護衛につけるわ。大統領は撃ててもリカちゃんは撃てると思うなよ。たとえ相手が超永久スナイパーでも守りきってみせるわよ。にゃーにゃー。
Not the meow meow.
鬼ヶ淵村の神秘万歳。
She's such a goober.
高野さん、何かいいことでもあったんですか？
いや、その
Well, you see here. Alright, so there's at least one more scene, it seems like. Interesting. So we're still in the stages before. After looking through the items that had been donated to the auction, we realized that there was nothing kids would be interested in. Keiichi insisted that the show wouldn't be a success unless there was something that kids would beg their parents to buy. He's probably right. For that reason, we went to the toy store again today. This is before the festival. We were trying to get the owner to donate something that would interest all the kids attending the festival.
なるほどね。うちも先日のみんなのおかげで売れ残りをじゃなくて、いろいろとゲームを売ることができたからね。協力したいのは山々なんだけど。
バッチャは叩き売りオークションが大人も子供も楽しめるイベントになることを大いに期待しております。ダメかな、吉郎おじさん。
本家の大ババ様に期待されちゃあな。わかったよ。なんとか協力するよ。断ると大晦日にどんな嫌味を言われるか怖いや。すげえな。ミオンとこのばあさんって本当に偉いんだな。
私は会ったことありませんけど、怖い人らしいんですのよ。シオンさんが言うには、趣味は人の生爪を剥がすことなんだとか。
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
それはしーちゃんが脅かしただけだよ。
nails off in their chapter.
レナはみーちゃんのおばあちゃんをよく知ってるよ。
Chapter 2, I
とっ
believe.
ても優しい人なんだよ。礼儀正しくしてれば。
I'm impressed that she can refer to that monster as a nice
礼儀
lady.
正しくないと怖いのです。あと敬語の使い方が間違ってる人にも怖いのですよ。ニパー
ニパー。
それは私には優しくないという意味ではございませんの？
ゲイちゃん、話ついたよ。気前よく教室してくれるってさ。
どうして村人はミオンの言うことを聞きますのですか？
そりゃ園崎本家の意向に決まってるじゃない。ミオンはその園崎本家のお姫様だもん。誰も逆らえないわね。
They have lots of power.
リカもフルデ本家のお姫様なのですよ。
ありがとう。
The members of Sonozaki branch families who own businesses usually get their funding from Mion's family. They can never go against the will of the main branch. It's like almost like a Yakuza thing. Sonozaki family made a fortune on the black market after the war, and they invested those funds, the capital into businesses. Oh my god, that was a lot of words. Run by their families, members, and the villagers. They charge almost no interest and require no cosigns or collateral. So long as one gives a proper explanation, they'll provide a notable sum. The money has to be paid back, of course, but it's lent between family and community. They're willing to make some adjustments if one goes begging. For that reason, everyone is borrowing money from the family. And that, more than anything, is why they can never refuse a request from Mion.
よーし、じゃあみんな手分けしてこれはと思うものを探してくれ。探し方のコツとしては、できれば大きいものの方がいいな。例えばトランプを一箱叩き売りしたって迫力がないだろ。でかいものの方が迫力があっていいもんな。
つまり大きくて高いものを狙い撃ちなのです。任せなさいませ。そ そういうのなら大得意ですわよ。みんなお店のおじさんの顔色を見ながら選ぼうね。
うわー、レナ見て見て、このぬいぐるみかわいいかわいい。
かわいい全部お持ち帰り。
Me whenever I see anime plushies, I'm taking them all home with me.
少しは加減してね。
Please. The shop owner smiled bitterly at us. He's like, please don't take my entire stock.
ケイチくん、これは何だろう。ブランコって書いてあるよ。ブランコって公園のブランコ？うわ、重たい。
ああ、組み立て式のブランコだろ。庭や室内に置いて遊べるはずだ。公園のブランコのようなダイナミックな遊び方はできないけどな。小さい子が遊ぶには十分だよ。まあ最初のうちは面白いんだけどな。そのうち飽きて使わなくなると洗濯物を干すのにちょうどよくなるんだよ、これが。
やたら例えがリアルなのです。ケイチは持ってましたのですか？
前の家でな。小さい頃のクリスマスのプレゼントに買ってもらったことがある。何しろパッと見の迫力があるしな。いいチョイスだぞ、レナ。
はい、ケイちゃん、これを貼っといて。後で町会の人に取りに来てもらうから。
Mion handed Keiichi a piece of paper that said Town Council on it. She was carrying around a whole stack of them. She's really thorough when it comes to things like that.
ケイチさん、これなんかいかがですの？家庭用プールでしたよ。
Aww, the little inflatable pools. They're so cute.
それもなかなかいいチョイスだな。ミオ、こいつも押さえとかないか？
ひなみ沢じゃ水遊びがしたければ沢へ行けばいいからね。微妙じゃないかな。
でも金魚さんのプリントがなんだか可愛らしいね。レナはこのプールあってもいいと思うかな？私もあっていいと思いますわ。これだけたくさんの水が貯められればいろんなトラップに応用が効きますのよ。
ダメだ却下だ。その威力を味わうのはどうせ俺に違いない。却下。
ならこれはどうなのですか？ゾウさんの滑り台なのですよ。
Aww, that's cute.
これは僕も面白そうだと思いますのです。僕もお持ち帰りしたいのですよ。サトコが滑ろうとした瞬間に上からドンと押すとサトコがコロコロと転がっていくのよね。ああ、想像しただけで楽しくなってきた。羽生もそんなサトコを見たいでしょ。リカはサトコに意地悪して遊ぼうとしてますのです。それもいいね。お持ち帰り。
I wish I had the money to do that all the time. Just say anything I liked. Just say, I'm taking it home with me. Enjoy the privilege of picking donations for a while. I started to feel bad seeing the owner's troubled expression. I patted him on the head to try to comfort him. Petta, Nipa!
おお、麻雀だ。
どうしたの、ケイちゃん。
Keiichi found something in the tabletop game section. I walked toward him to see what it was. I saw a green mat on the table with the mahjong tiles all lined up on it. They were arranged in a square shape as if someone was playing there until just a few minutes ago.
あれ？何これ、吉郎おじさん。勤務時間に麻雀なんかやってたの？
いや、違うよ。これはね。
I expected to see board games and card games in the toy store, but not mahjong. I guess it isn't weird for a toy store to sell this, though.
うわあ、すっごい久しぶりだよ。もうほとんどルールは忘れちゃったかな。
おお、レナくらいの女の子が麻雀を知ってるなんてすごいじゃん。
I actually don't know anything about mahjong other than like kind of what the
以前
pieces
に
look like
部活の種目になったことがあるんだろう。
and that you match tiles together.
もちろん私も大活躍でしたのよ。私の皮にはトラップが潜んでいましたよ。
ミオ、お前な、裏若き女の子が4人も集まって学校で麻雀かよ。
ちょっとケイちゃん、麻雀をバカにしちゃダメだよ。南沢は豪雪地帯、村の冬の娯楽は麻雀一色になるんだから。こたつでぬくぬくみかんと麻雀、テレビからは紅白が流しっぱなし。風情があっていいね。
I didn't know that was a winter thing. It's probably how the Sonozaki family spends its winter. Doesn't mean the whole village does that.
そういえばここいらは豪雪地帯なんだったな。なるほど。
It's probably
こ
because
たつで
they're
遊べ
right
る大
by
人のゲームといったら
the river.
麻雀はド定番だよな。
ケイちゃん、麻雀をバカにしちゃいけないよ。麻雀こそは男社会の潤滑よ。四角いジャングルを囲むとき、男たちは東なら清流、西なら白虎、南は朱雀、北は玄武。
Okay.
普段の上下関係やいさかいを全部捨てて対等な関係で戦い合うわけよ。
She's very
その
serious
精
about
神の
this.
尊さは古代オリンピックにも通じるものが
I
あ
don't
るっ
think
てわけ。
mahjong is this serious. Yeah, that's just Mion. She's just
So is
always
it?
like that.
俺はそれよりもこいつがいつ部活に登場して罰ゲームが何になるかの方が怖えぞ。
ケイチ君は麻雀わかるの？
親父が好きでな。お客さんが来た時メンツが足りないと無理やり入れられてたよ。強いかどうかはともかくルールはわかる。不計算はできないけどな。それはそうと、なんでこんなところに麻雀が出てるわけだ？
Everyone looked at the owner.
いやね、お昼に来たお客さんと話してたらツバメ返しができるっていうんで見せてもらったんだよ。
ツバメ返しだって？麻雀史上究極の荒技イカサマじゃない
Not the
か。
scam.
古代中国にて伝説の達人が編み出したという
Why is
中
this
国
so
拳法究極
serious?
の技。
I do know that like Japanese people,
その威力は
it's a big tradition over there to
あまりの恐ろしさに時の皇帝によって
like
葬り去られ
gamble
たと聞い
with
ていたが、
mahjong.
未だ使い手が実在したの
It's a
か。
huge game they
ち
like
な
to
みに
gamble
これ
with.
は親父の受け売りなので
Kind of like, you
始
know,
祖は
regular
保証した。
cards over here.
ツバメ返しって宮本武蔵だっけ？麻雀とどういう関係なのかな？手牌と山牌を瞬時に入れ替えてしまう大技なのですよ。ミパー。
ミパー。
おいミオン、なんでお前はこういう痛いけな子にそういう悪い知識を吹き込むんだよ。
いやー、いやー
I don't like that laugh, Mion. That's
見
suspicious.
てみたいな。誰かやってみせてよ。リカちゃんはできるのかな？知ってるだけでできませんです。さとこが一時期練習してましたですよ。
ちょっと待てサトコ、お前その年でそんなのを練習するんじゃない。
戦う前からトラップは始まっているなんて雰囲気は確かに佐藤の得
Honestly,
意とし
that's
そうな雰囲
fair.
気だね。
That is fair.
相手が圧勝におごり油断した最後の勝負で仕掛けるのこそ最高のトラップタイミングなんですのよ。
で、佐藤は結局マスターできたわけ？練習はしてたんでしょ？
実戦ではとても使えませんわね。練習でほんの何度かできたことがあるっきりですわ。
Mm.
へえ、見たい見たい。さとこちゃんやってみせてよ。僕も見てみたいのです。仕方ありませんわね。 失敗しても笑わないでくださいませよ。
Stoker sat in front of the table and started piling up the tiles.
さとこはそんなすごいことをできるのでしょうか。
さあどうかしらね。成功すればすごいし、失敗しても可愛いし、照れてるさとこが可愛いから、私は実は成功失敗はどうでもよかったりして
まずはですわね、あらかじめ山の灰に欲しい灰を仕込んでおくことから始めますのよ。なるほどね。それと手灰を一気に入れ替えちゃおうというんだね。でもどうやって？手品なの？
だからね、手灰と仕込んだ灰を一気に入れ替えちゃうわけよ。ぜひ実際にアニメーションか何かでご覧に入れたいシーンなんだけどね。文章での中継なので、そのあたりは想像で保管してください。
ミーが誰に喋ってるのかわからないのです。
She's talking to the
と
player.
言いつつカメラ目線なリカちゃんもな。
では行きますわよ。
Ruin gulped and looked closely at the table. Stoker moved her hands like a swan on a lake. She had 13 tiles in front of her. That's a lot of tiles. She suddenly flipped them all face down. She lifted them up by holding both ends and silently placed them against the back edge of the wall, keeping them hidden.
さあ、いよいよここからだよ、さとこ。
自信がありませんけど、行きますわよ。
We all went quiet. Stoker reached out toward the Yamahai. She grabbed the whole thing with her small little hands.
というわけで、ここで麻雀の詳しくない人にいかに山牌をつかむのが大変かを説明しよう。自分の手牌は通常13牌だ。
13 tiles.
この程度の数なら両手でうまく押さえつけるように持てば宙に持ち上げることだってできる。不慣れだと失敗してぶちまけてしまうが、そう難しいことではない。だが山牌はそうはいかない。
So is it about how
山
many
牌
you
は
can
基本
grab?
的に17牌ある。
Yamahai is
しかも二段積みなのだ。
17. How many you
しか
can
も
grab
ここから
without
が
like
肝心。
tearing down the
17
tower?
牌かける2段を丸ごと動かせばいいわけではないのだ。上段は17牌全部を、下段は端の4牌のみを移動させなければならない。これを先ほど山の向こうに置いた手牌13牌にかぶせることで、手牌は山の中に埋もれ、さっき山牌を移す時に残した下段の13牌が自分の手牌として残るのだ。
I would have
これ
lost
こ
all
そ
my
積
money.
み込み技の究極と言われるゆえん。全13牌を丸ごと全部入れ替えてしまう大技なのだ。
さとこ、しっかりなのですよ。
I could see Satoko trying to concentrate. She was supposed to be doing this more naturally since it's a technique for cheating. But since for the moment it was just performance, I suppose it's fine. Someone audibly swallowed, and at that exact moment she made her move. Swoosh, swoosh. Crash. She had put too much strength into it. Her tiles fell apart. No!
やっぱり無理でございますわね。こんなのなかなかできるものじゃありませんわ。
でも要領は今のとミオンの解説で大体分かったぜ。
I'm glad somebody does. I
ちょっと
don't.
俺もやってみる。
レナも挑戦してみよう。今のうちに覚えておかないと後で大変そうだからね。僕も挑戦しますです。
All of us except Mion took a seat and started piling up the tiles.
一見するとルールを知らない子供たちが麻雀牌で遊んでるように見えるんだけどね。
その実態はツバメ返しの練習だってんだから。私の部員たちは実にたくましく育ってくれたもんだよ。
Oh, I didn't read that. My bad, sorry. I was vibing. My hands and Satoko's hands are about the same size. If she can do it, I know I can too. Of course, I can't really use this trick during a real game. We were just playing around, but I was having a good time. I've never done this before in my 100 years of life. Yeah, Rika's old, guys.
手が不器用になった気がしますわ。悔しいですわね。
She tired.
最初の13杯を持ち上げるのも難しい。
いいかあれな、両手の小指で挟み込むんだよ。そうそう。
The pinky finger.
力を入れすぎると弾けるぞ。
かといって力が足りないとうまく持てないしね。その塩梅を得得する。
It's very difficult to lift up the first 13 tiles to begin with. Not everyone can get past this stage. Toko was doing well for the first time, but she lost her concentration and is dropping her tile now. I took Keiichi's advice and supported the tiles with my pinky fingers and lifted it up. Oh, I did it!
最初の13個をうまく持てましたのです。
おお、やるじゃねえか。なんだよ。
Step 1.
リカちゃんが一番リードしてるぞ。
But then you gotta do it faster. If you're gonna cheat, you gotta do it faster.
続きもうまくできますのですか？
なかなか難しいわね。でも誰よりも最初に成功させたいっていう気持ちはある。だって今はそういう遊びなんだからね。続けていくわよ。
くそ、リカちゃんが一番乗りになっちまうのか。
次の入れ替えができればいきなり成功だね。次は牌がいっぱいあるから大変。頑張れなのですよ。いいか、正念場でしたよ。
I had to lift up the whole top row and only 4 tiles from the bottom row. I probably didn't need to use too much force. I can do this. Crash. God dang it.
惜しいな。
I would end up just knocking the whole damn tower
それ
down.
だけで難易度は急激に高くなるね。
僕が一番に成功させますです。きっとできなかった人には罰ゲームがあるに違いないのです。
なんだってみよ、本当か？
どうしようかね。
There were only 4 seats, so Mion wasn't even in the game. I mean, she could set up a punishment with no risk to herself. No, that's not fair.
はお、みーちゃんはやってないのにずるい。ずるいという暇があったら練習あるのみでございますわよ。なんだか大変なことになってしまったのです。
I thought we came all the way to Okinomiya to get donations for the auction. Why were we doing this now? Well, that's why I love hanging out with these people. You gotta do things spur of the moment. If it wasn't for them, I would have lost my soul a long time ago. I would have become a worthless piece of flesh. I've heard that rabbits can die from loneliness, but humans are no different. They really can die from loneliness. Humans can also die of boredom.
やっぱり今回の世界は何かが特別。もちろんそれは個々にはいずれもあり得ることばかりなんだけど、それらがみんないい方に流れている偶然が奇跡的。
そもそもリカの運命が今まで不幸続きだったのです。
Yeah, for real.
たまにはために貯めた幸運を放出してもらわないといけませんのです。
違いないわね。
If I have such a miserable and deadly fate, I do deserve some happiness that evens out the sadness. I feel like the luck I'd been getting in this life was something that I'd been saving up for 100 years. People I love are all healthy and happy. I also asked Takano to reinforce my security. I don't know if she really will, but she promised me. She never did that in my previous lives. I think her reaction to my request was the best one so far. In fact, she was skipping on her way back home. She must have been in a good mood. I was sorry for breaking the family rules, but I think it was worth it. I told them that their lives were also in danger, but I doubt they'd really believe that. They didn't seem too frightened by it. I'd have to give them a final warning before the night of the Watanagashi. If I tried warning them too often, they'd never believe me.
なら、私はもうこの世界でできる努力はないと
That would be
いうことなの
extremely
です。
tough to try to figure out, like,
わかりませんのです。
what to do to change the alteration of events. I'm blessed with miraculously good fortune in this world. I gave it my best efforts using all my previous experience. But did I do enough? I wish I could have my fortune told. I just wanted something to tell me that I did everything right. Please tell me what my fortune is. As soon as I made the wish, God granted it to me. Oh, it's Oishi! What's up, bro? I suddenly heard a low voice. What are you doing, bro? Keiichi and Rena dropped their towels as soon as they heard it. What are you doing in a toy store? That's what I was saying. You're a police officer. What are you doing here? Actually, he's a detective, technically. But he works with the police force. He's a weird wild card, because sometimes he's a good person. It looked like Oishi was ordering something from the owner. I wondered what this old guy wanted from a toy store of all places. Interesting. Mion was wondering the same, and she asked him instead of me. Yeah, he was gambling with Mahjong before, so I know he likes Mahjong.
こたつの板裏もすっかり緑の布が剥げちゃってて使い物にならず困ってたんですよ。
ほう、雀荘じゃなくてご自宅で麻雀ですか。優雅な休日の過ごし方なことで。大方妙な語呂とトラブルでも起こして出禁でも食らったんじゃありません。
He likes to drink and play his gambling mahjong.
公僕たるものは遊戯場でも紳士でなくてはいけません。そんなトラブルなんて起こしませんよ。
You sure are, of course, yeah.
それはさておき、皆さんも麻雀ですか？若い方は麻雀なんかできないと思っていましたよ。
Yeah, it's usually more of an older game.
我が部の精鋭を侮ってもらっちゃ
Like
困り
adult,
ます
it's
ね。
considered more of an adult game.
およそ勝敗のつくものなら種目は問わず、
I don't
ど
know
ん
if
な
it's as
登場であって
complicated
も
as
背中は
chess,
向けない
but
のだ。それがたとえ麻雀、パチンコ、競馬、競輪、競艇、果ては書道、聖火、ゲートボールまで何であ
that's
ろ
a
うと。
lot of things.
最後には足を踏み外すと下が溶岩や濃硫酸とかになってるところで戦わされそうなのです。
大丈夫だリカちゃん。その登場は仮に死んでも単行本が 2,3 冊も進むとひょっこり生き返れる。
Sure, that's how it works,
ケイイチさんとリカが何の話をしてるのかさっぱりわかりませんわね。
はて、これはどういう場ですか？まだ山を積んでるところですかね？い
え、違うんですよ。ツバメ返しの練習なんですよ。
ツバメ返しの練習ですか？いやはや、
この人なんだよ。さっきお昼に来てツバメ返しを見せてくれた人は。
Oh, that makes sense.
実践じゃできませんがね。まあ芸の一つですよ。
大石さんでしたっけ？ぜひやってみせてくださいよ。俺ぜひともその技をマスターしたいんです。というかマスターしないと今年の冬の部活がヤバそうなんです。
ねいいですともお見せしますよ。あなたは間違えたらごめんなさい。前原屋敷のお坊ちゃんですかな？
あ、すみません。はい、そうです。引っ越してきたばかりの前原圭一です。こんにちは。
This is the first time they're meeting.
あれ、ケイちゃんは初対面？
In past
こちらはね、
timelines,
警察の大石さん。
they
渡流しの
meet
実行委員
quite
会にも
frequently.
警備の顧問として参加してるから、
Sometimes they don't meet
そ
very
のうち
much.
実行委員会の席で会えるよ。
そうそう聞いてますよ。なんでも相当元気のある方だそうじゃないですか。叩き売りオークションの司会はあなたしかいないと皆さんおっしゃるんで、どんな方かお会いできるのを楽しみにしていたんです。しかし司会とは責任重大だ。よく引き受けられましたね。実に勇気と度胸があります。
ああ でも引き受けたからには頑張りますんでよろしくお願いします。前原圭一と申します。どうかよろしくお願いします。
おう、元気なだけでなく礼儀正しい若者ですね。若いのに感心です。私は沖宮署の大石と申します。なんならクラちゃんでも結構ですよ。
No one calls him that. No one calls him that.
では大石は僕の席でやるといいのですよ。
お、これはすみません。ではちょっくら失礼させていただきます。
He rapidly gathered up the tiles. I could tell that he'd been doing it for a long time. Yeah, he's an avid mahjong
柔道家は
gambler.
相手の帯の結び方を見るだけで段を知るっていうような、まさにそんな感じっすね。
Don't they have like different colored belts though?
はいを積むだけで褒め
I
ら
don't
れち
know
ゃう
about judo.
と
I
なんだ
I
か
did
照れちゃいます
karate a little bit
ね。
and then taekwondo.
はい、では皆さんよろしいですか。参りますよ。
You can tell their rank by the colors of their
それちゃっちゃっち
of
ゃ
their belts. And then when you get to black belt, the stripes they have on the belt tells you what degree
こんな感じですね。
of black belt they are. We all broke out in cheers. You often hear the audience cheer for a big performance on TV, but it really was more impressive being in person. He did it so quickly, too. Pretty good for an old man. He made it so simple that anyone could do it, but everyone here knows that it's very difficult to do. This was why we were all impressed at how easily he performed the trick. He's like 1 year away from retirement, too. It's his last year, and he's trying to solve the murder slash like weird circumstances that happen in this town.
いいですよ。
He causes some really bad problems for Keiichi in the first chapter. Sometimes he's helpful and sometimes he's not. He's just kind of a mixed bag, I guess. Depending on what's going on, he has a different reaction.
まずこうですね。ここまではわかります？それから。
He's an interesting character, though.
いえいえ違います。
Never quite sure exactly what he's gonna
前
do.
へスッとせり出す感じです。でも押すのとは違う。ホバークラフトのようにほんのわずかだけ宙に浮かしてスッと。
ホバークラフトのような気持ちでほんのわずかだけ宙にスッと。あっくそ。
力は入れなくていいんです。実際は音をさせたらもう失敗なんですからね。無音で忍者のような気持ちでスッとやります。
忍者の気持ちでスッと。もう一回やります。見ててください。
It was strange. I had never seen Keiichi and Oishi play mahjong together.
なんだか圭一君と大石さんって仲良しになれそう
Yeah,
な感
they've
じがす
not
るね。
always been on the best of terms,
やっ
so
ぱり
in past
男同士だと通じるものがある
reincarnations.
のでございましょうね。
So that's pretty cool. Usually appears only after Takano and Tometake get murdered on the night of Wadanagashi. He has only ever appeared on the scene as a detective. He always approached Keiichi as a detective, so he never thought of him as someone he could trust. He only thought of Keiichi as a decoy to expose the culprits among the villagers or something like that. So even when you see it, it's hard to believe that Keiichi and Oishi are having a good time together like friends.
圭一と大石が仲良しなんて僕
That's
も
an
初めて見ます
interesting...
のです。
Hmm.
でしょうね。私だって初めてだもの。これをどう受け取ればいいのかしら。大石が現れた時、運試しは今日だって思ったのに。
I couldn't understand this world at all. My heart was pounding and I had the strong feeling that I'd roll a 6 every time I threw a die. I think I'll roll a 6 again. I'll know it before I roll it. I will roll that 6. Get that 6, girl! I will finally defeat my deadly fate.
いらっしゃいませ。あ、いたいた。大井さん、買ってきましたよ。
Oh, what's going on? The voice sounded so familiar I'd heard it before, but that couldn't be right. Honey always warned me. Don't expect too much, it couldn't be him.
ああ、赤坂さん。ご苦労様です。お店すぐに分かりましたか？
Is that his, like,
申し訳ありません。
partner?
すっかり迷ってしまいました。
Detective partner?
親切な郵便屋さんに声をかけてもらわなかったら、今頃どこまで行ってたやら。
I think so. A young man was standing there. Oh, hello! He was wearing a casual outfit and holding a plastic bag in his hand. I always thought Akasaka wore a shirt and tie. He also seemed much smaller. He looked at me as I stared at him. Normally you look away when you make eye contact with a stranger, but we stare at each other without averting our gazes.
赤坂なのですか？
ということは、やっぱりリカちゃんだね。
え？知り合い？
赤坂さん、フルデさんと面識があったんですか？これは驚いた。
久しぶりだね。少し伸びたんじゃないかな。
赤坂こそなんだかたくましくなったようなのです。
This is Mamoru Akasaka. He's a detective from the Tokyo Metropolitan Public Safety Department. He sometimes shows up in Hinamizawa in 1978. He has no relation to Hinamizawa or any deadly curse, but outside the village, he's the person I trust the most. Does he trust? Yeah. I've asked for his help in the past several timelines, but nothing ever came of it. Interesting. He's from so far away. He forgets about me once he returns to Tokyo. That's why I'd given up on him.
赤坂はどうしてまたひなみ沢に？
Interesting.
子供を両親の家に預けて、
This is the first time we're seeing him
家内
in
と二
this
人で
year.
旅行に来たんだよ。
家内？
うん。君は家内の命の恩人だからね。わからないだろうね。
赤坂さんはもう本当に素晴らしい愛妻家さんでしてね。5年前でしたっけね。沖宮にまではるばる出張に来られたのに、入院中の奥さんのことが急に寂しくなっちゃって、仕事を放り出して東京にとんぼ返りした業のものなんですよ。いやいや、愛のなせる技です。
That's sweet.
奥さんとラブラブ。なんだかちょっぴり素敵かな。
あの時リカちゃんが東京に帰らないと良くないことが起こるって言ってくれたじゃないか。どうしても不安になってね。雪江の病院に戻ったんだ。そしたらその日に屋上への階段で清掃員の事故があったって言うんだ。
Janitor fell down the stairs and got seriously injured. I knew that was going to happen because I'd seen him lose his mind after hearing about his wife's death and a life I lived a long time ago. Falling down the stairs seems like just the luck of the draw. I didn't think it would happen all the time, but it happened to him over and over. So I thought there must be some kind of reason behind it. I guessed it was because of the broken tiles on the stairs. If he didn't show up at the hospital that day, his wife would have gone up those stairs. It was her daily routine, but she didn't go because he showed up. Meanwhile, the janitor went up the stairs and got injured.
だからリカちゃんは雪江の恩人なんだ。
私はそんなバカなって言ったんですけどね。赤坂さんは女房の恩人に間違いないって言って聞かないんです。今回もあなたにぜひ会いたいって強く要望していましてね。
確かにリカってたまに予言じみたことを言いますのよね。
さすがはお社様の生まれ変わりだね。
It's because she's lived a time loop of the same year for
赤坂さん、ちょっと急ぎ足で参りましょうか。では前原さん、この続きはまた今度にしましょう。その時はもっと実践で使える技を。
Oh no, those two are his police partners. He's a different person.
ぜひよろしくお願いします。
I feel like I've heard his name before though.
じゃあまたね、リカちゃん。
赤坂はいつまでこっちにいるのですか？
綿流しのお祭りまでいるつもりだよ。 長すぎる夏休みだろ。有給消化率が悪すぎると庶務から怒られてね。
So he'll be here
山
during
が
the
一つ終わったん
festival
で
time.
室長
So
から
that's gonna
長
be
期休暇を
different.
許されたんだ。お祭りにはきっと行くよ。聞くところによるとだいぶ盛大なお祭りになったんだそうだね。
そうなのですよ。赤坂の時のようなただの酒盛りではないのです。
赤坂さん、行きましょう行きましょう。
君は雪江の恩人だ。借りはきっと返すよ。きっと君の力になる。
Well, now we have him on our side. That's cool. I will be killed in June
あ
of
れから5年
1983.
体も鍛えた。経験も積んだ。あの時のような無様な真似は絶対さらさないよ。きっと君の力になれる。
I felt like I rolled a 6 without even throwing the die. Akasaka followed Oishi and ran outside into the bright sunlight.
これも想定内の
So
幸
many
運なの
good
よ。
things happening one after the other. That's like very suspicious.
今回はいろんな運命がリカに味方をしているとし
She's
か
on
思え
good
ない
terms
の
with
です。
Takano and Tomitake.
おもちゃ屋での
All of her friends are having deja vu of
魚
past
釣りゲームという
reincarnations
運命
of
を
time
覆した
loops.
瞬間からもう世界は変わっていた。私の戦おうという意志の強まりが
Oishi and Keiichi are
運命を
friends
揺る
and
がしている
bonding.
ということ。
Interesting. Oh, did I miss text? The moment I refuse to stop playing the fishing game, my strong will is going to change my fate. If I have a strong will, I can also change these results. We rode our bikes back home together. I think the chapter's almost over. I was in a good mood, but I also felt like humming a song. I could feel my deadly fate slowly falling into pieces. I felt like my fate was urging me to move on. Just like the sun and the moon during an eclipse, the wheels of my fortune were perfectly matched for the first time in a long time. This really might have been a miracle. This wasn't like the true miracle of Keiichi remembering the past. It was good fortune within expectations, but when it was arranged this well, it was enough to be considered a miracle. I can't remember the last time I felt so good in June of 1983. My name is Rika Furude. My ominous fate was moving away from me. With each step I took, that deadly fate withdrew further and further. I'd have to stay strong and take advantage of this miracle. I moved forward at high speed. Nagashi was so close. My luck and effort had brought about a miracle. And so I will defeat my fate.
今度こそ。今度こそ。
This time for sure. You say that every time.
おーなのですよ。
Hopefully this is the time though, because she fucking deserves it. The next moment something happened. Keiichi had accidentally scratched a motorcycle that was parked by the street. A group of 3 delinquents were trying to intimidate him. This did happen before.
大変なことになりましたのです。
ふん。見てなさい。今の私の力なら、あんな連中、ひとひねりにしてやるわ。
困りましたわね。おまわりさんを呼ばないといけませんわよね。大丈夫ですよ、さとこ。僕にお任せなのです。リカ？リカ？
I walked toward the delinquents even as they grabbed Keiichi by his collar. What the hell are these pathetic guys? Are they trying to stand in my way when I'm trying to have a happy future? I should teach them that nothing can stop me now. Get him, Rika. I know I'm rolling a 6 without even throwing the die. They continued to grab Keiichi's shirt. Keiichi, Mion, and Rena were staring at them with a vicious look in their eyes. I got in between them. Eh? Listen here, you little shit. She said what she said. AKA, fuck you. I plucked his nose with my fingers again. He never expected the little girl like me would attack him. He seemed surprised, but he quickly returned to being angry. Then he picks me up by my collar too.
リカちゃん、やめなさいよ、話しなさい。はうはうはう。リカ、
別にないわよ。でも今の私の強さならこんな障害は物の数じゃないことを証明してみせるの。この程度の運命にも勝てない運気なら今回も死の運命になど打ち勝てるものか。
I rolled the die knowing what I was gonna get. I knew that I'd be rolling a 6. Next moment, 2 men in working overalls came up to the 3 delinquents and tapped them on the shoulders.
兄ちゃん、話したった。相手は子供やん
Yay,
ね。
happy
感情管理して
bookshelves.
なんだよてめえは。俺たちは喧嘩を売られたんだぞ。お前らなんざ用はねえよ。
Those working men weren't just random people who were passing by. I knew who they were.
まあまあまあ、そっちで話そうやんね。ほらほらほら。
One of the men pushed the 3 delinquents to the side of the street. The other man spoke to me in a calm voice.
大丈夫ですか？リカさん。
Are these the ones Takano sent?
助かりましたです。
He lent me his hand so I could stand up.
皆さんはもう行ってください。あとは私たちが処理しま
Are
す。
these her bodyguards? Her official bodyguards?
どなたか知りませんが、ありがとうございます。
True. I do be loving some books, right? I actually had to donate a lot of books because I don't have the time to read them all and they were taking up so much space. But I kept my favorite favorites and the ones I was really looking forward to reading, so...
うちの圭一さんが無様で申し訳ありませんわね。
じゃあ、行こう、みんな。
I have no idea who saved us, but we're glad that all of us were safe. But I knew who they were. Those must have been the security guards who work for Takano. Yep. Takano kept her promise. Those guys are professional bodyguards. They only do what they are ordered to, but they make sure their mission is complete. If Takano told them to protect me, that's the best protection I can get. After we left the scene, a white van with 2 men in it followed us. Everything was working in my favor for the first time ever. The petals seemed so light that day. I felt like I could fly into the sky if I wanted to. Oh. Is there more? This is I thought this was the last part. Oh, it is. Okay, cool. I was gonna say, this is a long-ass chapter if there's more. Okay. View new tips. We're gonna read this. Oh. This was the girl that was messing with Satoko's dad.
これが航空券だ。遅れんなよ。
Yeah. Yep. All kinds of books. I could honestly have a whole room of just books, like my own library.
後の金は現地だ。
ああ、気にお気に。おい、マミヤン。
私札幌って一度行ってみたかったのよ。
北条の野郎にゃ気取られてねえだろうな。
大丈夫だよ。あいつバ
Yeah,
カ
she
だもん。
was scamming him.
でかいのは声と態度だけ。
Well, damn. She said what she fucking said.
そうなのかよ。
Jesus. Yeah, she's an absolute asshole. Next moment, they heard several cars. What is it? Coming towards them. The man looked out the window and saw 3 black cars screeching to a halt by the apartment building. Several intimidating men emerged from those cars. Some of them even looked up towards the window. He quickly hid himself behind the curtain.
Not
getting out of this time.
マミヤン、ボケっとすな。捕まったら殺されんぞ。
I heard the men running up the stairs. They sounded angry. Well. Interesting. So they got stopped before she was able to leave. She was supposed to get out of there and get out of Dodge, you know, after being an absolute jerk to Satoko's dad. Interesting. Yeah, things are looking up for once in Hinamizawa. What the hell? I'm suspicious, but also, you know, hopefully that's good and it ends well and everything will be fine. There's the raid message. I'm gonna find somebody to raid, and then we are gonna call it a stream there. And then next time, we'll probably do another 2 chapters. It seems like a good amount for me. It's usually about 3.5 to 4 hours. It's just enough to where I feel like I got some progress, but not so much that I lose my voice. So it's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to raid, Richter. He's one of my new friends. He's been really good about checking in with me and like my mental health and stuff, so I really appreciate him, so we're gonna raid him today. He's very, very kind, and he is playing Pokemon trading game, so if you like Pokemon or Pokemon card game, then stop by for some relaxing time. Yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I have been enjoying getting back into it. It's been a minute, so I forgot a lot of stuff, but it's a very, very interesting concept to me, and I enjoy, like, learning more about the mysteries, and hoping that it's gonna have an actual, like, good ending. I'm, like, hoping and praying, please, let there be a conclusive ending, like, tied up in a bow and everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, perfect. To a T. I highly doubt that's gonna happen, but I really, really, really hope. But yeah, I am definitely gonna continue this. I'll probably keep playing this until I'm finished with it. I've been wanting to get back into visual novels anyway, so this is a really, really good chance for me. And yeah, I will see you guys very soon. I'm going to be trying to stream as much as possible any days that I'm free, so I will keep you all updated on that. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye!